out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning in to the Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me. In effect, as always, ladies first, little sis Porsche. What's going on?
Not a whole lot, Kill. So good to be here with everybody today.
No doubt. I've got my brothers from the UK, My Type of Hype podcast. I got Easton and Slack. What's going on, y'all?
Good, man. Blessed, man. Appreciate the invitation. Good to be here as always, man. Love from the UK.
On, bro. It is never an invitation with you two. It's always an open door policy. It's just the time change with the UK, just trying to get it right. So I appreciate y'all rocking with us on the late night out there. And I got my man Edison. This is one of the people who we've been talking on Twitter for a long time. He's in Orlando. I'm always in and out of Orlando. We linked up the last time I was down there. Got a chance to chop it up with him. Great dude. Took me out, showed me a great time. Had to invite him on the show. He's a supporter of the show. And again, this is what I love about Twitter. You meet those people and prayerfully you get to travel and meet them. So, Edison, thank you for making the time for chopping it up with us tonight, bro.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
Nah. No doubt. Y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. Porsche came up with the topic. It was like, because we had planned this show almost like 2 months ago. And, we still have a topic. Porsche came up with the topic. So, P, what's the topic for this week?
So the topic, me and Kill are always talking about quotables. I personally love lyrics. I'm lyrics over production. So I pay attention to lyrics. I love when rappers are witty. They're like superheroes to me with the way they write. They get these words together that come up with these brilliant lines. And so I thought, why don't we do another quotables show, but instead of having all of the usual suspects show up on like a top 10 because they're much of the same, I kind of just put a spin on it and said quotables from your favorite MCs that do not appear on your top 10. I wanted to make it harder and said top 25, but Kill was like, no, let's just do not a top 10. So that's what it is.
I don't even know who's in my top 25, Porsche. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to get a top 10. I don't know who I'd be quoting if we did all the way up to 25.
I was mad at Kill for the subject matter, but now I guess I got to be mad at you, Porsche.
See, it ain't me. I didn't do this.
I'll take it.
I didn't do this.
Love it.
Hey, who you got up first?
Okay, my first MC is Ghostface. Ghostface Killer. I love Ghostface, but he unfortunately doesn't show up on my top 10, but I still love him just the same. And the first quotable I got is from his Sour Soul album that dropped in 2015, from a track called 6 Degrees. And he says, 6 cents, 6 packs, 6 degrees of separation. My evil third eye blinks with no hesitation. And again, I just Ghostface is just so dope with being able to, when he says stuff that makes sense, it really makes sense. And it just sounds dope when he says it. I love his flow. His cadence is amazing too. He's just got that unique voice that just kind of makes it stick. And this one, the poetic patterns in there, I love everything about it. So that's my first one.
And which album is this off of?
It's on Sour Soul album. It's with actually, believe it or not, with a Canadian instrumental band called Bad Bad Not Good. Weird. Listen,
I didn't even.
Honestly, I saw that. What kind of Canadian?
It's a good project.
Yeah, it's good.
I gotta tap in. I won't hold you. I probably haven't heard a Ghost album post, I don't know, maybe 2010. Here's
the thing: Ghost's discography is so deep at this point that I'm not surprised if people miss albums, go back to albums. Like, I didn't know about this one until like very recently, so it's not like I was all up on it when it dropped. It's just, you know, sometimes I revisit discographies and I'm like, hey, I never even knew that dropped. Let me spin it, and then you know, you hear some gems that come out. So,
all right, I gotta do knowledge on that joint. My first joint, we are gonna go with. Everybody knows that this is one of my favorite MCs walking the planet Earth right here.
It's same.
Stove is not in my top 10. So as soon as Forrest gave me the rules, I was like, well, we know Stove guideline is.
I saw that one.
So I'm gonna start off with probably my favorite joint, Rolls Royce Brake Lights. Tell them niggas, Trillis ever did it. Shooters in the 92 Intrepid. You got collage work, his shit mixed with his shit mixed with they work. My shit is Cinderella Slipper. I ain't sorry for the wait. I was in the kitchen dancing on the plate. They wrote my story out in invisible ink. They liked what took so long. I'm like, nigga, I barely blinked. God bless a homicide. God bless a shooter. You sold a computer. You Google rumors. I scale fish, boy. I moved units. Stepped on it twice and I meant to. The bricks got chandelier crystals. Planets revolve. My niggas shoot pistols. His clips don't got a curfew. I close casket and hearse you. Work you. Walk a nigga down like Herschel. Pete on the water, nigga. Patience is a virtue. God is an alien. Caught from a bird view. 32 liter. Respect my skeeter. Light skinned base runner. I'm Derek G. Yo, the way when I put this in there, keep in mind for everybody who doesn't follow me, I wasn't even gonna listen to this album. To me, the name is stupid. Stove Guy Cooks. I'm like, what kind of name is that? The album cover is horrible. My guy out of Chicago was like, Kill, you gotta hear this album. I'm like, all right. And yo, I press play and I've never stopped playing that album. So to set that album off with that, with those bars, I'm always big on how you set off an album. Like there should be some excitement behind it. Like, and how you close an album too. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people start an album off good and you get in the middle and you be like, hey, when is this shit over? Like, you know what I mean? You know, it's really a gift in sequencing an album to set it off right, getting in the middle, and then finishing. I think it was Quest who said when they were working on Voodoo, they wanted to make sure that when you heard the last song, you wanted to be like, damn, it's over? Like, I want more. Like, you never want somebody to be like, oh, thank God it's finally over. Like, it should have been taking forever. So I just think Stove Guy just set that shit off first. Perfect verse. You know, the light skin bass runner, I'm Derek G, that got me so many quotables in here. But that was it for me. Easton, what you got, good brother, man?
So before I kick my first one off, I may have read the brief a little wrong because I just thought it was 10 MCs that are not in your top 10. Didn't know it was necessarily 10 of your favorite MCs, but
no.
Cool. So,
anybody you want that's not in your top 10.
All right, then. So listen, I wanted to, you know, for the humor side of things, Portia, you know, it's nothing but love. But I wanted to throw a Drizzy bar in there, throw a Drake bar in there.
Shit. Lord, what?
I know, you know what I mean?
Man, this is good.
Let's start again, Kill. Let's start again.
So that hit me up before the show, innit? So that hit me up before the show and was like, bro, I beg you do some Drake lyrics. I said, all right, man, appreciate my brother, I'll do it. So,
no, here's the funniest thing, Easton. I literally just last night texted her something, a Drake lyric. You know what I mean? So that's the funniest thing. And I was like, you know, from Portia, like Portia's favorite MC said, you know. Of course, she's like, Big didn't say that, you know, but... So,
that's the first thing I said. I was like, Kill, Big did not say this ever in a rhyme. I had no idea who said it. I was like, oh. And then I clued in. I was like, oh.
So I'm with you, Easton.
Yeah. All right, so it's all good. Yeah, so I thought I'd... there's one bar I like from him, actually. Let's go. So I've got this here. Where is it? Yeah, so it's off the album Take Care. And it's off Over My Dead Body, right? And he goes, shout out to all my niggas living tax-free. Nowadays, it's 6 figures when you tax me. Oh, well, I guess you lose some and win some, as long as the outcome is income. When I heard that, I thought that was sick. I like that. So, yeah, that was one that jumped in my mind, you know what I mean? So, life's life, innit? But as long as the outcome is income, as long as we're increasing, man. So, yeah, I thought I'd throw that one out for the people, man.
I'm with you. I love Drake. Porsche hates Drake. It's the nature of our relationship.
You know, okay, I have to say this. Drake is the example of, you know how everybody says money buys this and money buys... Listen, money does not uncorny you. That's what I can...
He is corny. I will give you that. That's a corny.
Listen,
ass nigga right there.
his whole
No
system is corny. So like, I just, you know what? If
I
Easton
concur.
that line, I'll let you guys have it.
I concur. But I will say this: Joe Budden is a corny ass nigga too, but that nigga can rhyme. You know
But
what I
that's
mean?
no reason.
Definitely.
Podcast
Now,
hosts-
here's the thing with Drake. I do always have to say, if I quote Drake, I always have to put Drake, aka whoever wrote it for him, because we don't know who wrote it. I will say that, you know,
This is true.
but you know, I can't just.
I mean, but supposedly he's such a great writer. I mean,
Well, here's the thing. I don't look at Drake as an MC. He's like Sammy Davis to me. Like he's like a Vegas lounge singer to me. Like, you know, he's an entertainer. So like Drake would never make the second that there's a ghostwriting rumor about you that's been proven a fact, you can no longer make my top 10 list. Like you are, it's impossible. So I don't even look at Drake as an MC. When I listen to Drake, I'm listening for like pure entertainment. Like Drake is like Usher to me. Like
He's a pop artist.
yeah, he's like a pop artist. Like I'm sure one day he'll have a Vegas residency. So that's the thing. Like I don't look at Drake as an MC. I really just look at him as like this dude's an entertainer. Like he's not to say he's a joke, but it's just like, you know, he's an entertainer. You know what I mean? But I would never put Drake as an MC. But again, that's just how I was raised. If you follow me, I say this all the time. It's all about how you were raised. You know, I was just raised that you had to write your own shit. You know, so but that is me. Porsche doesn't fuck with Drake one bit. Let me explain to y'all. This plays over in my mind over and over again. That one day Drake is gonna be like, man, I want to put Apartment 5B on OVO radio, but you gotta get rid of Porsche. And I'm like, I'm not getting rid of Porsche. It's not gonna fucking happen.
It's okay, Kale. You know what? I would take one for the team, and I would just put in my resignation. So
No,
you guys,
no.
I would never stand in the way of that.
Nope, we gonna roll too far together, nigga. We gonna ride this to the wheels fall out, man. You know what I mean? We just gonna ride to the wheels fall out.
That would honestly be hell on earth. Like, I don't even know what I would do in that situation. Let's just hope that never happens.
Yeah, like, but this is played out in my mind various times. I'm like, come on, nigga. You know, if you can't take somebody not liking you, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just part of the game.
He could. He'll be really offended, but it's fine. He'll be on Strictly Ballroom or something soon. So
Yeah, and all I gotta do is keep Pusha T on speed dial. Like, nigga, go ahead, say something. We'll get this shit. You know, this nigga make you be a father to another child we didn't know you had. So, you know, Slack, what you got for your first joint, good brother?
Kind of off the back of what you said, man, about how to set an album off correctly. I tweeted about it the other day, but I was listening to Big Pun in the car, and Beware came on, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is just disgusting. Everything about that joint, just the beat, the sample, the rhymes, the aggression, the lines, just everything about that song is how you set an album off to me. As soon as I remember when I bought the album, because I didn't know what to expect from Big Pun at the time. I knew he was dope, but I never knew what he'd be like over the course of the album. So popping that in and hearing that be the first song, I was like, oh shit. And then when he came out with the "My Squad is real and holds it down the hardest, regardless what size of the largest, I polish the floor with the rawest hardcore artist," I had to stop this shit, man. I had to go take a walk around the block, clear my head, get my thoughts together, come back and listen to the rest of the shit. And then, oh man, when it's like a flawless victory, you niggas can't do shit to me. Physically, lyrically, hypothetically, realistic, like hypothetically, as in like, even if you dreamt about it, you can't do it. Realistically, you can't do it. Like he just destroyed that shit.
Galore.
All of those lines there, man, just amazing skill.
Yeah, I think one of the illest things about Pun was he's one of those MCs who's dope as shit, and then he seems like he's cool as shit. You know, like you hear all the stories about how everybody just loved hanging out with him, how funny he was, and just, you know, what a good dude he was. And then another reason why I love him, and I'm sure Edison will co-sign this, I mean, we don't have a lot of BX representation right now in hip hop. You know what I mean? So I love the fact that, yeah, which is sad because it's where it started, you know, but I love the fact that, you know, I don't think we had anybody from the BX like that since KRS. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what I also loved about Puff, because I was talking about this today, and it's just like, I feel like if we're not careful with social media, a lot of hip hop history is gonna get changed.
100%.
You know, like somebody was telling me today, like, yo, Hammer wasn't that bad. And I was like, time out. Like, we gotta stop this revisionist history shit. Like, nigga, I was outside and nobody fucking liked Hammer. I've been to every hood house party there is in Philly and nobody ever said throw on that Hammer. I've been in mad niggas' cars and nobody's ever said throw on that Hammer. So I don't know why all of a sudden now
Bro,
it's
let
like
me
cool to
add
be
on to
like,
this. Let me add on to this. This is gonna fuck you right up. So everyone in here has heard of Silk the Shocker, right?
yeah.
No one has ever said to you throw on that Silk the Shocker record ever, right? So, and at the time when he was out, everybody knew he was whack. Like, this dude couldn't rhyme on beat. He was doing ABC.
He was terrible.
It was almost embarrassing. Like, I could rap better than Silk the Shocker. I'll put that out there right now. People now on Twitter are telling me Silk the Shocker is dope. Like, I never thought in my lifetime I would see someone trying to advocate for Silk the Shocker, but if we could see that, like, anything's possible, man. So,
Bro, I think it's like
I'm
it's
with the truth,
weird.
and it doesn't surprise me, man.
It's age, though. A lot of it is age. I was 10 when
Age, bro. These people are
Age plays a part, Easton, but I'll say this. One of my guys, my man Rollo, God bless the dead, we were in a rap group together at Morgan. He recently passed away. But I'll never forget when we connected back on Twitter, he was talking all this, and it's so funny, Slank, that you said Silk the Shocker. He was talking all this No Limit shit. And I was like, he was like, oh man, I love No Limit. And I said, bro, I was with you every fucking day from 92 to 96, and you've never in your life mentioned, and I hate to talk about Ill of the Dead like this, but it was a true story. Nigga, you've never said anything positive about No Limit. We would read the source and talk about how corny their album covers was. So what is this new 2020 energy where you're like, nah, I like them? Now here's the thing, before anybody says it, if you changed your mind, that's fine. But I need you to say that. I need you to say, yo, I used to think this shit was whack, but I listened to it again, and I can understand why people like it. I got no problem with that. It's when people are coming off now like they liked it.
Always been fans.
That's the problem. So I don't know where this energy is coming from because I see it all the time.
People are
Some
telling
nigga
me
was on here.
2 classic albums, bro. 2.
Some nigga was on here talking about Crisscross was the shit. I was like, I quit right now because again, nobody in Easton is different things. What I've learned with Twitter, we all in the mall at the same time, different things. You know, I grew up a certain way in Philly. Maybe somebody else did. The hoods I was in, nobody was banging fucking Jump. Nobody. I never heard a car drive down the street banging Jump. I never was at no house party and niggas threw on Jump and niggas lost their mind. I didn't know niggas wearing their clothes backwards. I'm not saying that shit did not happen. I'm just saying that it didn't happen in my hood. So maybe somebody from a different hood, and keep in mind, black folk, we don't make up a lot of this country. Okay, so, you know, maybe white folk all over the world in Wisconsin was wearing their shit backwards. I don't know nobody from Philly. I've never gotten robbed by a nigga with their shit on backwards. I'll say that. That is what I will say right now. I've been robbed, but I've never been robbed by somebody wearing their clothes fucking backwards. So
it's nostalgia though. It's nostalgia because I've definitely.
It is a nostalgia thing.
It's nostalgia because I've definitely done the whole rocking the jeans backwards thing. Definitely.
And here's the thing, in no way am I dissing that. I'm not dissing like anybody who did it. I'm just saying to now come out in 2023 and say Crisscross was the shit and they had classic albums. Like, no, that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about clothes backwards or anything like that. I'm just saying that to now come back and try to say Crisscross was the shit. You know what I mean?
The word is nostalgia. It's nostalgia for a lot of people. So when they think of it, they were like me, they were 8, 9, 10 years old. So sorry, but when you're 8, 9, 10 years old and you're listening to hip hop or rap or whatever, and it blows your mind because of the whole pop thing, you go into school parties, you know, house parties, family parties, and you're hearing MC Hammer, Crisscross and all that. They're like feel good music. But if you're like, just add 3-4 years onto that, you're not listening to that. So I think, like you rightly said, Kill, it's the whole everyone in the mall at the same time. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking hip hop, I'm 42 years old. If I'm talking about hip hop to someone who's 22, complete different outlook of what we would deem as classics, and it's all nostalgia and what probably impacted you at that time. Because when you were like between 12 and 15, the stuff that really impacted you then are the stuff that you're probably always going to take with you. It don't matter how people look at it now. I know I was 15 in 95. That's always going to be my golden time, 95 times. You see what I'm saying? So even in 10, 15 years time, you can't diss 95 to me, because that's the best era for me. Because that,
but that music holds up, bro. There's a difference, man. That's not crisscross and close.
No, 100%. But even if it was out at that time,
but I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, and Edison, I'm gonna get to you. I get what he's saying, because again, that age plays a huge thing. Definitely. Like he said, in 92 he's 8. In 92 I'm 18. So as an 18-year-old in college, as a freshman, I'm not listening to Criss Cross. As an 8-year-old, of course somebody would be listening to Criss Cross. That's who Criss Cross was marketed to. So
but then you have to let it go. You have to be like, I'm not 8 anymore. I'm not 8 right now. So that Criss album ain't gonna hit. I'm saying that.
Right.
I am able to let albums go that I may have listened to when I was a kid, but I'm not gonna listen to it now because I'm an adult now. Like I used to love the turtle rap because I was a kid and I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and I loved when the turtles were rapping. But am I gonna throw that shit on now? No. Like we have to grow up at some point. But the music that sticks, it sticks because it's classic music. But we can get on. That's a whole different conversation.
Right. We gotta talk. Edison, what are you gonna say, brother?
I agree with Easton 100% because the only explanation for it is nostalgia. Because like you were saying, nobody in any hood that you were at, you were 18, let's say college freshman. I was 20 years old in 92, and I'm hearing people and DJs on our campus playing Das Effects, playing Jump, playing whoever it was. Cool. It's a song. Let's not rewrite history and how great it was. I purchased thousands, tens of thousands. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on music. I have never spent one dime on Silk the Shocker. I know him from radio and from the magazines. But that's it. He's never gonna. I don't understand why he would ever be in anyone's top 3,000. I don't get it.
But you know the cool thing? Again, I don't know what it is, but it's this new cool thing. I think it's now cool to be like, I liked everything.
Yeah.
Like, I really think that's just the place we're at now is music that's like, no, I loved everything. I love this. I love that. Like, nobody wants to be. It goes back to what Puff did, when he was like, well, y'all don't like our shit? Well, y'all hate us because y'all grew. And people, no, we don't want to be a hater. Okay, Puff, it's like, I never gave a fuck. Call me a hater. I've been called so much worse shit in 49 years of walking this earth. Please call me a hater. That's absolutely nothing to me. So, if it's not hater, now it's kill you, East Coast, West Coast bias, and all of this stuff. And I think so many people are right now so concerned with how they look in their appearance. No, I don't want to seem like I didn't like the South. So I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas think about me. I thought the shit was whack then. I think the shit is whack now. That's the moral to the story. Again, it's like food. I ain't gonna argue with somebody because they don't fucking like mayonnaise on their cheesesteak. I don't give a fuck. Get what you want. I'm gonna get what I want. Let's keep it moving. But I think for some reason that's where so many people are right now. It's like, I don't want to be West Coast biased. So I don't want to be, I don't want to seem like I don't like the South. So I'm gonna just say I like everything just to be safe. And it's just like, that's cool for that personality. My personality has never been the, I'm gonna just be safe personality. If you don't like some shit, people may not like my beats. Okay, cool. I'm sorry you don't like it. Like, keep it moving. It's no hate. I'll send an MC 50 beats and he'll pick 3. You know what that says? He wasn't feeling the other 47. That's cool. Like, and music isn't gonna speak to everybody the same, but I can't get an attitude every time somebody doesn't like a beat or somebody doesn't like something that I did, or like, you as an artist, you can't get caught up in that. You just gotta make what you got, and people will gravitate and lean on what they want. But if you literally get upset every time somebody says they don't like something of yours, it's like, dog, like, I don't think you're really made for this business.
It's not theirs. Like, they defend it like they were in the studio with Silk the Shocker making this bullshit music. Like, and like, if you say I don't like Silk the Shocker, immediately that means you don't like anyone from the South. Like, immediately it's you just don't like Southern rap. It's like, no, bro, I don't like whack rappers. I don't like whack rappers from the UK. I don't like whack rappers from New York. I don't like whack rappers from LA. I don't like whack rappers from the South. I hope that makes sense. It feel whack.
Nah. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Portia's going back on strike again, and I don't have money this week to pay her again. So let's get her back.
It's my Drake comment.
Yeah. It's between that and now we're going too far bar. Edison, what's your first joint, good brother?
This was a little bit weird, man. I found myself doing homework, man, because I didn't want to go. There's a whole lot of people not in my top 10, or not in anyone's top 10, but I didn't want to name like just people who are like right outside the top 10. But for me, it was Mad Skills verse off the High and Mighty, the B-Boy document with Mos Def.
Off that Sound Bombing 2 joint.
Yeah. Like beat-wise, fire, and then at that time, probably people were already starting to forget about him a little bit. You know? I mean, and when he goes, "You warm to injure, I'm hot to death, I'm foul, especially when you think I shot the ref." The entire verse, it was dope. It kind of cemented him a little bit as a lyricist when people were starting to forget about him. You know what I mean? And even though after that, it's not like he did a lot of things, but that to me right there, that was Mad Skills off the High and Mighty B-Boy document.
Yeah. Mad Skills to me was dope. I just think so much changes so quickly in hip hop. Like him and Supernatural were like the shit. It was like, these are the two freestyle dudes and they can freestyle. But eventually that freestyle shit came and it went like so quickly. Like it was just like they were the shit for like a year. The From Where album really didn't do a lot. So it's kind of like you said, he kind of got forgotten. But that's the sad part that about the 90s, that so many trends came and went. And the sad part is freestyling is a trend that shouldn't have ever went, because it's, you know, in my opinion, the foundation of hip hop, you know, is being able to come off the top and do things. So it's kind of messed up that it kind of was like these two dudes who were just amazing and it just all of a sudden disappeared. It'd almost be like if all of a sudden we ain't care about dunks no more. And it'd just be like Vince Carter and anybody who's dunking just gets erased. Because it's like, we don't care about dunking no more. But it's like, how do you stop caring about dunking? How can you stop caring about this? And that's what is the kind of sad part to me, because Supernatural and Mad Skills for a while, their name was on everybody's tongue as far as just as how dope they were. So just real unfair that they had to didn't have the longevity of that. P, we're back talking on topic, you know, so we're back. We saw you go on strike for a minute, so we wanted to get back on topic.
All good. Sorry, I was getting water.
Oh, no, it's all good. When your camera goes off, we ain't doing striking again. So.
I'm here.
What's your next joint?
So I have another Ghostface quote, or do you want me to move on to another MC?
Nah, whatever you want. Whoever you
okay. I have this one for Ghostface. Anything worth having is hard to keep. I love you like my coffee, so hot, so sweet. So let's stick it out so we never regret it. I could forgive the past, but I never forget it. And you guys know me, Kill always makes fun of me. I love in hip hop and R&B, of course, but I especially love the whole when MCs that are always like hardcore, they're never talking about love and romance, talk about it. It is like it's like a magnet for me. I absolutely love it. And of course, this is a joint from Ghost and Amy Winehouse and off the More Fish album. And I just love that line. I mean, he mentions coffee. I'm in the coffee industry. Like he won me over with it. I love it.
All the people out there always ask me how to get with Porsche. It's just love. Just write a rhyme about love, bro, and you got it. If you write a Hot 16 about love, bro, I don't think you can fuck up. Just don't mention Drake. That's literally the hit and a half. Like, you know, people always like, yo, how to get with your little sis. Just write some shit about love, and I think you'll be good.
I'm not saying that. Kill, right?
Okay. The next person I got up is an MC I don't hear talked about as much as I think he should. That is Sci-Hi the Prince. I was late to the Sci-Hi party. I didn't get to it till No Dope on Sundays. But to me, that's a 5 mic album. I listen to it all the time. There's so many quotables. The first joint is Amen. He says, from when the gangsters die young and the rats die fast. So when my shooters spread, this Mac live shattered. Ride around like who gives a fuck with Black Lives Matter. Wash the blood off his hands, then get baptized after. I'm the New Testament, the last 5 chapters, and God said he would come back by a rapture. The Lord even lets me lie by the pastures. So I never told the truth to the plain clothes. There's a flashback of bullet holes in my Durango. Better have a raincoat if we ever see them bastards. Mix the pink sleeping pills with the powder in the sifter. Stepping on the dope like an Alpha Phi Alpha. My bitch screaming ski weed. All about the cream and wheat, tailor-made. Everything you see ain't when it seems to be. Triple beam dreams like a Martin Luther King key. Me and Ye feel like Jane Memphis Bleak to me. The only difference is it costs a little more to speak to me. Around here it costs $100 for a meet and greet. Varsity in 2 sports. My reputation preceded me. But the trunk packed 10, so I never played collegiately. Big 12 gauge the whack a nigga in the SEC. Now that's the second. My mind's Mac 11. I might not hit nothing, but y'all know that I was present. See me in a beer in the wood, then help the beard in. My life is Leonardo in the Revenant. Listening to Lead playing, I ain't talking Zeppelin. Boston George before we got the blow. I'm out here Johnny Deppin. The only thing the police gonna find on me is a weapon. Blessings, never believe in luck. Read the signs at the lake until you don't feed the ducks, so keep it up. Or you'll be back to selling cuties. In the hood you get shot or you go out like Fela Cutie. Amen. The thing, there's so much in here, but when he said varsity in 2 sports, my reputation preceded me. The trunk Pac-10. If people watch college ball, the Pac-10 is a basketball football conference for collegiate sports. So he says, preceded me, but the trunk Pac-10, so I never played collegiately. Big 12 gauge. The Big 12 is another conference. To whack a nigga in the SEC. The WAC is a conference. In the SEC is a conference. So the fact that he was able to varsity in 2 sports, my reputation preceded me, but the trunk Pac-10, so I never played collegiately. Big 12 gauge to whack a nigga in the SEC. Now that's the second. My mind's a Mac 11. The whole, you see me in a bear in the woods and help the bear in. My life is Leonardo in the Revenant. When Leo did he get fucked by the bear? I don't know if he got fucked by the bear. The bear fucked him. I don't know.
I think they cut that bit out.
It was a movie. It was like, yo, Leo's in this movie and he gets fucked by a bear. And I was like, yo, he gets fucked by a bear? Like, okay.
Cocaine bear?
Nah, not cocaine bear, but I do want to see that. But yeah, that was like the big thing, that this nigga gets fucked by a bear. But yeah. So, Sci-Hi, if y'all are not up on Sci-Hi, please check out No Dope on Sundays. I promise you, it's a million quotables on there. So many rewindable moments. And for me as a fan, that's my favorite thing that I want from an MC. I want to be able to be like, yo, what did that nigga just say? Rewind that back. I got to hear it again. It's a million of those on No Dope on Sundays. Easton, what you got up next, bro?
1988, Self-Destruction. One of the greatest songs in hip hop, man. Incredible song. As we all know, every single MC on that kills it. Incredible song, timeless. But I'm gonna go with Cool Mo D when he goes back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters were hanged. How can you gangbang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man. Still to now, I still think the depth in that and the power in that. Incredible bar, man. It's not even particularly deep, but it's just the truth and the sentiment, and it hits home, man. So yeah, incredible bar with an incredible song. So that's my choice for number 2, man. Cool Mo D.
No doubt. Rel, what's good brother?
What's good, everybody?
What's happening, brother?
Hey,
No doubt. The funniest thing about that is we just did a show. Porsche, Rel, what was the show we just did when we were talking about who had what was it, the dopest line?
The top four in a posse cut.
Right, the top 4 in a posse cut. Because we always just talk about who ripped it the most, but I'm like, well, who came in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th? And we were talking about Self-Destruction, and it was like, and all in the same gang, and it was a lot of MCs that I don't think at that time I would have thought Mo D had the dopest rhyme, but it was like, that was definitely one of my quotables. Like, you know, because it's so prevalent, and it means so much, you know, to just that, you know, and like you said, not no ill lyrical miracle, you know, line, but it was just a line that just made sense. You know what I'm saying? So definitely feel you on that. Bro, what's up, good brother? What's one of yours?
One of mine is from a artist named John Connor. And he's on a song called Marina from an artist named Willie the Kid, whatever. And his verse is crazy, but part of it kind of sticks out to me. And he was saying, he said, don't think out the box. They want us to remain plain. They ain't gonna be happy till we all sharing the same brain. College is artificial knowledge used for profit. to fatten the institution's wallet while we still end up jobless. That's how they got us, like milk and honey was promised. With a degree, you ain't shit, and you really ain't shit without it. Not to offend anyone who turned a tassel, but I come from a home where them loans turned to a hassle. And that shit was just real, man. Like that's just real. Like to us, to the ones of us who went to college, who had to take out student loans, you know, bro. Like, it's real. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still out here ducking the feds, man. Like,
yo, man. Listen, and you know, that song came out in a time where I wasn't as stable as I am now. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, like, was this a waste? I wasn't doing a job in the field that I went to college for. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of struck home for me. You know what I mean?
That's 85% of people. So
yeah, it's real though. Like,
what year was that around? Because I remember the name. I'm not familiar with his music, but I remember the name.
Okay.
And he lost it from there, man. There's so many others out.
Let me see. When did this come out?
The funny thing about that, boy, I saw something on Instagram the other day. That
2013, my fault. 2013.
2013.
Yeah,
it was a thing on Instagram. It was like, hey, you know, college degree for sale, barely used. Like, you know, fresh out the box, you know, barely used it, right for sale. So now I definitely feel that. That's feel. And like you said, I've always heard the name. I just never got up on the shit. So
yeah. I used to listen to Willie the Kid all the time. He's a guy from like Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he's actually. What's the guy that was in a lot of Dark Man's, like that's his little brother, I guess. Okay. And I started listening to him, and John Connor features on a few songs of his, but that one stuck out for me. Yeah.
All right, dope. Ethan, what you got up next, bro?
Oh, I just went.
Oh, my fault. Slack. What you got?
All right, for my next one, I'm gonna go with 50 Cent, and the reason I picked this is when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. I think everyone here will remember like how crazy hip hop became at that point in time. And I just remember playing that album repeatedly, back to front, all the time. But there was always one line off the album that stuck with me, and that was on the song Heat. And when he said, "If you were smart, you'd be shook with me. I'll get tired looking for you. Spray your mama's crib and have your ass look for me." And I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like, and I'd actually believe that he would do some shit like that. So that was the most disturbing part about it.
Right.
I could see him in the studio laughing as he wrote that. Like, yeah, I'd actually do this shit. Like, it was so cold and to the point, and just I had to keep going back. Like, did he just really say that he'll shoot up your mama's crib so you go looking for him? Crazy. So yeah, love that.
And the sad part about it, bro, is just seeing all the beef that 50 and them really got into. You know what I mean? Especially with the boy Henchman and, you know, Yayo grandmother house getting shot up and just all the hoopla that, you know, 50 got into during them days. Yeah. That's the line that always stood out for me too on that joint right there. Edison, what you got up next, bro?
I'm thinking Mike Geronimo, The Natural.
Very slept on MC, man, out of Queens.
That album is fire, man. That album don't get too enough. That album's crazy.
At the time when that came out, if you think about it, that dude was almost like a post Rakim, pre-Prodigy rhyming type of dude. Like it was a different sound, you know. I mean, and when dude says luxury enterprise and vocals for analyzing, I move defiant speech more deeper than Poseidon, but need the highest esteem. Like, come on, man, it's disgusting. Like when you think about that beat pattern when it came, that beat and the rhyme flow when it came out, it was disgusting at the time. He held it down for a while, and then, of course, hip hop changed, and he's another one got lost in the shuffle. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy that in today's hip hop world, all these old dudes that we forgot about are like coming back and getting a little bit of respect. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Yeah. I always tell folk, the thing is, for a minute in time, and it really was a minute, Mike Geronimo had more oomph in the street than Nas did. You know, now it was only for a minute. It was only for a minute. Like I said, I'm not saying it happened for a year, but for a quick minute, it was like Mike Geronimo's name was probably being talked about more than Nas. But of course, this is pre-Illmatic and everything like that. And then it really, I always think there's only room for one. So once Nas was out, that was Queens. That was it. There was, to me, there was no other solo MC that was gonna be able to rep Queens more than Nas. And I felt like that happened, and not to mention his follow-up album. It was like the sellout, making moves with Puff, and it just, that really did it, because it was just like, man, like, dog, how you go from fucking Master IC and Shit Is Real and The Natural and all this shit, and going from the Beat Miners and Buck Wild and these Mark the Spark to fucking making moves with Puff. Like, so I think Nas coming out and that crossover attempt with making moves with Puff really is what kind of did Mike Geronimo in. And kind of like after that, it was a wrap. I see Raleigh expecting company, and like, that nigga hit us with the big, like, who the fuck is this? He's here at 5:46 in the morning, like, so I look on that nigga face, like, who the fuck knocking on my door, ringing my bell or whatever. But yeah, Dope Pick, man, because I always talk about how dope Mike Geronimo was, man. Because I mean, when Shit Is Real, when Master IC came out, bro, that shit was everywhere. And the dopest thing about Master IC is it's a slow tempo song too. Like, it's not even like get the club hot or whatever like that. It was just a smoker's anthem. And at that time in hip hop, everybody was smoking. You know what I mean? So
crazy. Even on the box, that song was always playing on the box, and I was quite surprised because I was like you said, it's not like a Busta Rhymes energy kind of song. It's literally a smoke that weed with your boys, up to high, you too high, I'll be getting money to the day. That I was like, why is this song getting played so much? Why it was so dope.
Right. And it's not like the chorus is some crazy chorus. Like you said, it's I'm so high, nigga, you so high, nigga. I'm gonna get money till the day that we die. Like, this shit was not seriously sit down and get out the dictionary and thesaurus, and it was just the simplicity of it. But this was a crazy song and one of my favorite Buck Wild beats too. Were you saying, Edison?
It goes to show you how important it is to surround yourself with good people and not fucking snakes. Ultimately, that's what happened to Mike Geronimo. You know what I mean? I mean, there's thousands of those stories, but he's a perfect example. Like I've seen it. We've all seen it. The people he was around, especially Irv.
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
Complete failure as a unit, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think too that Mike Geronimo, this is the part, and I'm gonna do a show on this about just that split in hip hop, because when Irv was getting on, Mike Geronimo was the shit, and then maybe in a 2-year time span, it's kind of like it shifted more towards radio, so Irv needed more Ja than Mike. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget the same. God bless the dead, my man Rollo, who was my rap partner, who I just got finished talking about. We're at my crib at Morgan one day, and the Bratz video, I'm gonna give it to you, came on. And in this video, it's a house party, and Big's there, and Puff's there, and Total's there, everybody's there. And Rollo looked at me and said, nigga, that's the party I wanna be at. You want to be out here with these goddamn Red Nubian motherfuckers and Busta Rhymes and them. Like, you want to be there with them. And it's that split in hip hop, because it really got to that point. And me and Rollo was like this. This was my guy. But it was just that split of it just being, see, Kill, you want to be with them underground niggas. I want to be with them get money niggas. You know what I mean? And that's really where the split in hip hop came to, where you can have two brothers who, we're walking this path together in this hip hop group, but then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know, man, you want to be with them and I want to be over here, and is this gonna work out or whatever like that. But I think that's what happened with Herb, because when TBT first got on that record label with Herb, it was like, yo, Mike Geronimo was the shit. But by the time 95, 96 comes, it's like, well, really 97, 98, now it's more the Ja Rule radio time, and Mike Geronimo couldn't be Ja Rule. And Herb is just going wherever the money is. So it's like, Ja can give me his money, then okay, whatever. Dead Mike, let me come over here. So another sad story about hip hop. Rel, what you got up next, good brother?
So this is totally opposite of my first one. This is like one of the most arrogant lines I heard recently, and it came from 38 Special, man.
I love Special.
And he said, yeah, he said, I'm in the section next to Mr. Ruggs. When I sit in clubs, I drink the whole bottle and give your bitch the suds. And I was just like, what? Like, that's just like the most ignorant shit, you know? Just ignorant, man. Like, but it was, you know, that's him, you know what I mean? And nobody rap like him, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my second quotable from somebody that's not necessarily in my top 10. I love 38 Special.
If y'all ain't heard this 7 Shots,
yeah,
I haven't got to that yet, you know.
Yo, I love Special. He gives me that rewindable moments of just like, yo, did that nigga just say that? Yo, that nigga said something like what he said, my side, something about like my side girl and wifey, y'all never see. It's like Clark Kent and Superman, y'all never see them together. And I'm like, damn, like, yo, he just got those. He got them analogies, and y'all know me and my kill analogies, so maybe that's it. But he always got something that he's like, just so.
It was that line he said about you're the weakest link in your squad, Keith Murray, and I was like, oh shit.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, Special got some shit, and then it make you laugh too. So it's not just like a dope bar with comedy mixed in too, or whatever like that. So
he's got a sick voice as well, man. He just sounds good on record.
I love Special. That's a dope pull, Rel. Porsche, what you got up next, miss? Oh, Michael Anderson, what you got?
He doesn't rhyme like today's rappers.
Right.
He's a complete throwback. Like, just rhyme pattern. It's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And then on top of that, he's from Rochester. We could thank Griselda for opening up hip hop heaven to allow other people outside of New York City, because 20 years ago, if you said you from Rochester, New York, you have no career. You could just start. I don't care how nice you was, you know. But Griselda has opened the doors that Stove got us from Syracuse. The only thing niggas know about Syracuse is Jim Bohannon and the fucking Orange. We didn't know nothing else about Syracuse. But again, thanks to Griselda, we've got the whole New York State now doing dirt. So, Porsche, what you got up next?
I'll move on to another MC. I've got Scarface, and for me, Scarface is like the MC. I wish I knew Scarface in real life, because I wish he could be like a mentor, because I feel like he's just lived such a life, and he's got so much wisdom that he can pass on, whether that's like, I don't know, whether that's just the streets, that's industry, business, like all of it. I just feel like he's such a treasure chest of like knowledge. So this one for me is just hit like that. It's from his album Deeply Rooted that dropped in 2015, and the song's called Rooted. And this quote is, "The moral of the story is keep your mouth shut because everybody's listening. Speak and you effed up." He doesn't say effed. I won't swear. So yeah, I tell you like them old cats say, get what you get and you get your ass out the way. Because greed'll get you 35 tight, you 27. That's the rest of your life, right? And I'm just like, you know, I hear people say that MCs they're not like sharing knowledge and they're not really teaching. And I'm like, have you heard Scarface's albums at all? Because he's always teaching about something or bringing something to your attention that you may have overlooked. This is exactly an example of that for me. I absolutely love it. And the way he ended that line, you 27, that's the rest of your life, right? What do you even, I don't know. That's just, it's brilliant. I love it.
Nah, Face is dope. Face is like that. He's the person, I know him and Willie D got a podcast, but I feel like Face is like, I really wish he had the platform of like a Joe Budden, because I feel like if he had that platform, like that's what not just rappers, but all of us need. You know, all of us need that OG who can really instill some game in us, and everything like that. But we know it's so funny because I swear podcasts have become the new like groups of hip hop. You know, so the same way it'd be like, oh, we don't want Public Enemy giving out all that game. Like, put some bullshit on the radio. I feel like it's the same thing. Like, we don't want facing nobody giving no game. Put some old Joe Budden, put some bullshit out in front of everybody, you know, to keep them busy over there. Like, we don't want them thinking. And it used to be the hip hop. Now it's the podcast game. We don't have hip hop groups breaking up. We got podcast groups breaking up. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the new thing right there. But yeah, I wish Face, because like you said, Face definitely got a lot of game to give out. The next person I got, Rel will appreciate this. If there was a Philly national anthem that the kids had to sing every day before school start, it would be this: we hustle till the sun come up, crack a 40 when the sun go down. It's a cold winter, y'all niggas better bundle up. And I better be a hot as summer, grab an onion just to rock it down. You hot now, listen up. Don't you know cops' sole purpose is to lock us down and throw away the key? But without this drug shit, your kids ain't gonna eat, got no way to eat, huh? We still try to keep mom smiling, because when the teeth start showing and the stomach start growling and the heat start flowing, if you from the hood, then you feel me, keep going. If the sneak starts leaning and the heat stop working, then my heat start working. I'm gonna rob me a person, catch a nigga sleeping while he out in the open, and I'ma get him. No, what we do is wrong. We gotta raise our kids while we live and make $1 million off a record bill. My niggas out of prison, fuck a Bentley or a Lexus, just my boys in the squatter. Niggas talking reckless, then I hit them with the Smith, but I'm never snitching, I'm a rider. If my kid's hungry, snatch the dishes out your kitchen. I'll be wild until they pick me out a lot. Like, yo, what they do is the most Philliest national fucking anthem you can find. You play that anywhere in Philly, I don't care how old, how young, nigga, shit is gonna go crazy. And I love Free because here's the funny part. It's weird, and for people who are watching, if you try this, it's hard to rap without the beat to certain MCs' flow. Like Freeway has that flow where I'm like, I need the beat like almost in my ear to rhyme with it right, because his flow is so off and on. But yo, and there's just so much Philly shit. Fuck a Bentley or a Lexus, just my boys in the squatter. Like the squatter is the Philly term for just like any old whip you got. You know what I mean? Like you ain't gotta be nothing fly. It's just that's my squatter. Like niggas pull up in just any old car, be like, oh yeah, that's
the Bonneville, or the Crown Vickers song.
Yeah, Bonneville. So, you know, and then one of my favorite things, Free get in like 10 in the morning, and I can give it to you like 10 while you yawning, man. Like, so, you know, definitely and definitely sending shouts out to Free, man. You know, losing that man lost his daughter, his son, his father in a 3-year span, kidney problems, and to just still see that man every day. And they just had the I think the 20th or the 25th anniversary of his debut album the other day at the crib. So just definitely keeping that man in our prayers, because man, I can't even imagine going through losing both your kids, man. I lose both my kids, bro. Y'all may not see me again. Like it may just I'll be on some Tom Hanks Castaway type shit somewhere. So you know, so definitely keep that man in your prayers. Easton, what you got up next, good brother?
Yes. So I want to go with Ransom. The song is A Most Dreadful Symphony.
Nice.
Off his latest drop. What's it? Chaos is my ladder, something like that. Bit Ransom now, man. You can do so many, but yeah. This when he goes, I've been in a godly tear with these bars lately. What y'all rate me? I'm past all the limitations that y'all gave me. Every scab is a movie. Truly, just call me Scarface. What God made me was born in a pack of wolves, and they all raised me. Now I'm just letting y'all chase me. Who's saying? You get that? Use like Usain Bolt. Now I'm just letting y'all chase me. Who's saying I ain't winning the race? I'm great when these odds face me. Who claiming I ain't been in the space and placed out in Mars, baby? And he just goes on the whole song. It's just like one long typical Ransom, and he makes it sound effortless, man. And the bars on there with him, obviously trying to pick MCs that are not in my top 10, but this is quite a good challenge, because there's a lot of straight away, as soon as you read this challenge, you think, well, I got this, I got that. And then when you really think about it and break it down, sometimes a lot of it is the flow that you like. But when you actually break it down for the words, a lot of MCs, they've got brilliant flow, but they're not really saying much. But Ransom, he's got the flow and he's got the bars. So when I heard that, definitely one of the ones, that project, I done so much rewinding on that project. Just like, oh, what did he say? Going back, oh, each time. So yeah, definitely that one, man. Ransom gets a shout out from me on that one.
Bro, Ran is so nasty. Ran is so nasty. I'll never forget. King's Disease 1 dropped the same time as Director Cut 3. And when I heard Director Cut 3, I was like, yo, this nigga Ran is on another fucking level, man. Like, this dude, it's just, again, so many quotables. What do you say, Porsche? I know niggas who praise Jay, but
play ether or something like that.
Something like that. Like niggas who praise home, but niggas who bang ether was like, I was getting on an airplane when I heard that. I was like, well, like I stopped. Like, what? Like, you know, people like, yo, you gotta keep moving. I'm like, yo, wait a fucking second, bro. This nigga just said some shit about nigga. Like, I literally stopped on an airplane. Like, yo, this like people watching. If you're not up on Ransom, I plead, you can start with the director's cut. People always want to know where to start. I always go director's cut volume 1. Just start there and keep going from there, and just follow the fucking breadcrumbs.
Quotables in every single song on every single album. This guy does not miss. I don't know how he does it. And when people are like, you think MCs are superheroes? I'm like, yes. You know what it must take to write something that, I don't know. I'm flabbergasted every time. Rant is brilliant. He's brilliant.
Yeah. So, yeah, that nigga. Definitely. I literally am trying to get the okay to put the quote in the studio at my job. He has a line where he says, what type of sheep runs from a shepherd's herd? You know what I mean? And like, when I heard that, I just instantly thought of my kids. Like, yo, like I'm always giving y'all a game, and like, what kind of sheep runs from a shepherd's herd? Like, I'm trying to push y'all in the right direction, and y'all trying to buck it. Like, you know what I mean? So again, Ransom, amazing MC, definitely, you know, keeping that mantle moving. Slack, what you got up next, good brother?
Oh man, I think I've got to throw Eminem in there, because he's got a gag of just ridiculous one-liners. The one that always stuck out to me is one that wasn't even on his album. It was on the Mad Rappers album. I think the song was called Stir Crazy. So I remember I got the album on promo, and I was playing it on the way home from work, and he said, Shady said it, Shady did it, Shady said it, I stayed demented, I'll throw a stroller at you with a baby in it. And I was like, throwing the stroller at you, but with the baby in it, that's crazy.
Hell yeah.
They've always had those crazy lines, man. But that one just always stuck. I just burst out laughing the first time I heard that. So that's wild. But yeah, that line is always stuck, man.
Slack, let me ask you this: are you an M fan?
Nah, I wouldn't call myself a fan. I was when he first came out, I was intrigued because I was working in music at the time when he came out. Okay. And I remember his song came out. Yeah, it was his first single, and just listening to him talking about which Spice Girl I want to impregnate and shit like that, I was like, you can't say that on the radio. So I was really intrigued because I didn't see what he looked like. I didn't know nothing about the dude. I just heard that and I thought he's talented. So when the album came out, my guy rang me and said, I got the album, but luckily from work I had it on promo. So the promo version there was slight differences to the retail version of the album that came out, but pretty much all the songs that were on the album was there. And I was just listening to like Rock Bottom, Just Don't Give a Fuck Part 1 and 2. I was just like, this dude he's talented, he can rap. But it was the gimmicky stuff that I never really got on with. Guilty Conscience and songs like that, I wasn't really feeling those. But the songs where he's just rapping, yeah, I thought, yeah, he's got something. But by 2002, like, that was it for me. So over 20 years, I couldn't say that I've rocked to.
Now, I was asking because someone has said to me, like, you know, Royce and M got clean and got worse as an MC. Royce got clean and got better as an MC.
I agree.
So I'm not a big M fan. So I didn't know if You would agree with that, Easton?
Totally.
100%.
Okay.
Definitely.
Em was way better on drugs.
Oh yeah.
Real fucked up to say, but
Quite true, man.
yeah,
And
it's
Royce,
almost like how
when Royce got clean, like around 2017, Royce was just dropping his freestyles, his mixtape, the Bar Exam 4, I think, or something.
yeah.
The tape with Knots, and then he did the Layers album, and he was going and going and going, and just getting better and better every single time.
Yeah. It's funny because Preem was saying when they first started working on Prime, and he sent them some beats, he was like, "Yo, I don't know what this is gonna sound like. Like this nigga sober now. Like I don't know." You know, so but yeah, all right, that's dope. Edison, what you got up next for yours, good brother?
I'm thinking Casual. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude. He at a time when hieroglyphics was on top of the world, that dude managed to create his own lane outside of them being so dope at the time. You know what I mean? I write raps, and when niggas bite, I clap because they shit sound better now. You done let me down because I thought you would be dope, but instead your shit's dead. You gets fed to the alligators looking in the morning. Peep what I wrote. You bit so hard, I thought the shit was a quote. Come on, man.
Yeah, Cash was dope. I never got into Cash, but I know his pedigree. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I never got into Cash like that. Like just thinking about it, because I know he's dope in the pedigree, but yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, definitely one. I don't think Souls of Mischief and them really get their props for how dope all of them were, like that whole collective. Like I feel like the hieroglyphics kind of get left out a lot. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's because I know just for me, none of them have any classic albums for me. Like I love 93 Till Infinity, the song, I love That's When You Lost. I think it's a very good album. But for me, they just never had like that classic album like that. And I think maybe that's why they get lost. I don't know. Any other thoughts on Hyro and why y'all think Hyro don't get brought up more?
Shiny Suit era.
You said what?
The Shiny Suit era ended a lot of so-called backpacking. You know what I mean?
Right.
They still get a lot of love though. They're touring the UK now.
Sorry, Easton, go, bro.
No, I'm just saying they still get quite a lot of love though. They're touring the UK now. I don't know it's going to be sold out show.
Yeah, right now. But I don't know. I think with them being, I don't know if the coastal thing kind of played because they're from the West Coast, right? And they didn't sound like they were from the West Coast, if that makes sense. They sounded like they could be from New York,
Right.
So I don't know if that may have worked for us. They super dope, like 93 to Infinity. Like that song comes on, you still know it word for word. And what I love about them is every member of that group, Souls of Mischief, every one of them is dope. Like you wouldn't, sometimes if there's a group, you'd be like, oh, I could do without that dude, or I could do without that guy, or why is he here? But with Souls of Mischief, all of them were dope. They all have different styles, really good rhymes, and yeah, I don't know why they weren't bigger. But like he said, man, they're touring heavy now, so and then all their shows pretty much sold out. So
definitely,
and we haven't view them at the time. Like we actually appreciated all the individuals. At the time, we appreciated everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then somewhere we went left or whatever.
Yeah, I think if people haven't seen the documentary, definitely check out the documentary. It made them respect me a lot more. Made me go back and listen to the catalog again, because I think the other part too was Dell. To me, I never really fucked with Dell because he kind of was on that. I don't even know how to. I just wasn't that whole. My brother George was here. I just didn't get that shit. You know what I mean? And then when Souls came out, I was like, yo, I fuck with this. But then they follow-up album, No Man's Land, really wasn't good. You know what I mean? Casual never really had that song. Like, if Souls didn't have 93 Till Infinity, that really is their fucking saving grace, I feel like. If they didn't have that one song, I don't know. You know, I feel like they'd be even more underground than what they already are. Casual didn't have that. By the time after No Man's Land, they got dropped off a job. I think Dell got dropped from Elektra, so this is 97. And I remember they really were one of the first people to really try to get in with that internet and going independent. But I don't think the internet we as people weren't ready for that yet. You know what I mean? The whole buying your stuff on the internet. I remember seeing a website, and people forget 96, 97 websites really would just start first popping. So we didn't know if we could trust, you know, of course now we buy everything offline, but back in 1996, it was like, buy your album? Oh no, nigga, like you gonna send it to me? Like, so I think all those things if we just put all those things together, I just think that all those things play a part into probably why we're not hearing Hyro's name more like that. But definitely a dope pick, Edison, with Casual. Rel, what you got up next, bro?
I'm gonna stay in Philly. I got my man Beans. And this line, I just remember just cracking up laughing when I heard this line. It's off The Truth. And he was like, you motherfuckers know me well. Couple court cases from jail. Couple 4-4s from hell. Stuck on the mission, go home. My girl fussing and bitching like, motherfucker, why don't you change your life? I'm like, motherfucker, why don't I change my wife? Yeah. I said, what? What? Yo.
When that nigga said, why don't I change my wife? I said, this nigga doesn't give a fuck.
Right. Exactly. That's the same way I felt. I was like, yo, this dude, I said, this about to be one of my favorites. I said, he about to be one of my favorites. I can already tell. You know what I mean? I can tell from the jump. You know what I mean? Like, who says that, bro? Like, she like, yo, once you change your life, like, she like, why I get rid of you?
Like, you think it, but you don't say that shit. Like, you don't say.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was classic, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Classic Beans. Porsche, what you got up next?
Okay, I'm gonna go over to Heavy D.
All right.
And one of my favorite quotables from him is talking behind my back like they ain't half of that. Matter of fact, I'm the one who put the town on the map. Tick tock tick, things are getting thick. Here comes the Hevster, and I know it makes you sick. And it's just Hev being Hev. Like, he's just so charismatic. He's got so much charisma and so much personality, and I love pulling out these kinds of gems and these things that reflect that within Hev's music. He doesn't need to, and I love that Hev doesn't really need to swear all that much in his music either. Like, you don't really need all of that cursing and all that kind of stuff, which I think is super dope. He has quotables, and he just was him, you know? So yeah, Heavy D.
Don't curse.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my favorite posse of all time too.
Oh man, have one of my favorite evers. I'ma just stay with Rel and Philly. Beans was on my list too. The first time I heard Beans was on this joint called Crew Love off the Belly soundtrack. When this nigga says, yo, I set up shop with Nick Rocks that are upset rookies and make them slide like little dicks and wet pussy. Open up the whole strip like Monopoly and dare one of y'all to land on my property. Think you getting some dough from my community chest? Bow, bow, two to the chest. Y'all niggas can't pass go because it costs to pass. Y'all niggas cheap like Baltic Ave. Type to land on jail, can't pay your bail, want to borrow from the bank. Nigga, what you think? I'm the wrong one to lie to. Shit, I'm the man who supply you. And y'all a bunch of talk money. I'm trying to get it down for that motherfucking boardwalk money. 2 brick money, new blue 6 money, Peru trip money, flew in 6 money, Taj Mahal trips, orange chips money, long dick money, all in your bitch money, flow like the flu spit, flow like the flu and spit sick money, peep hotties, Rockefeller woos out, all black Max, Beanie Mac, I move out. I had niggas running from school picking new routes. Then I run a lick and shop, make them move south, switch up their last name, get a new spouse. Scrambled up, down for payment for a new house. No matter where you gonna go, Mac gonna find you. I'm like your shadow, nigga. I'm right behind you. I blow out your brains and won't give you no reminders. Yo, when I heard that shit, I was like, yo, who the fuck is this? Then this was before niggas, that whole style that blue 6 money, all blues, that using the same word every time at the end of the line. Like that was just Beans' bag right there, man. So yeah, Beans, the Broad Street bully right there, man. Just Siegel. Easton, what you got up next, bro?
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna go with Joel Ortiz from the Mona Lisa album. It was the track Grace of God, when he goes, I never wanted to go that route. I felt like Cuba in a car without the heart to tell Doe to let me out. I hope God don't judge me when he judge me. The devil works pretty damn hard to make it ugly. I know everything that glitter ain't gold, but man, that ice made all that glitter look cold. Thought I was playing without the flicker that glow. Now that I'm wise, I realize all I did was hide. Long as they're staring at the chain, they won't look into my eyes. I think Joel's got a lot of bars. That's the best project I think I've heard from Joel. Apollo Brown and him, and he's got so many quotables on that album. But I picked that one because that's probably my favorite track off the album. So yeah, Grace of God. I like the way he broke that down, man. That whole section about just not really. And I think with Joel as well, he says a lot of things that you don't expect him to say, you know, because you don't expect a lot of public people to be honest enough to say. And saying, you know, he didn't necessarily want to go the street route. You know, he felt like don't wear in the car, you know, without the heart to say, let me out of here. Do you know what I'm saying? And he broke it down good. I liked it, man. Yeah, so I picked that one.
Tell me this: why do you think Joel, his name doesn't ring out?
He hasn't had that song. Has he? He's never had that one song that everyone could say that's Joel Ortiz banger. Everyone knows he can rap, and I think he went through a period of not working with the best producers too. Like his album Free Agent, because he was on Aftermath for a while, wasn't he? And he obviously that didn't work out. Then he kind of went, and then when he popped up with Apollo Brown, that was his best album. But up until then, everyone knows that he can rap his ass off. Like that's never in question. Like he never had that one banger. Like if we went around here, all of us would probably have a different Joel Ortiz song. You know what I mean? He just hasn't had that.
I could probably only name you one Joel Ortiz.
There you go.
Like,
there you go.
You know, do y'all think being a Slaughterhouse helped or hurt?
I think it helped with popularity, because I definitely know there'd have been more people that, even the conversations I've had, there are people that didn't know Joel until Slaughterhouse dropped, because you had the whole Eminem connection and popularity, so people would just check out Slaughterhouse. I know people that didn't really know Crooked that much before Slaughterhouse. Do you know what I mean? They'd only heard little bits and pieces. So because people that like M's fans and different things like that, you know what I mean, they checked out Slaughterhouse and heard more. But I think it helped him in the sense of his popularity. But lyrically, I don't care what anyone says, all four of them are heavyweights. I know Joe Budden gets this a lot, but he's a lyrical heavyweight. I don't care what anyone says. So all four of them are bar heavy. So there's times where Joel had the weakest verse, but if he was on the track with other MCs, that would have been an incredible verse. But he was with three other strong MCs, so it's a tough one, man. It's hard, but overall, I think it helped him popularity-wise.
Right. Yeah, I could never really put my finger on like why I'm never excited for a Joel album. I'm just not. Like, I just saw him in Crooked, just dropped the EP the other day, and I have zero urge to listen to it. Like, zero urge, you know? And even, I'm with you too, Slag. I think it's the production, but he had a project out with the Heatmakers, and I love Arsonist. And even that wasn't, like, up to par either. And I'm like, damn, like... So I don't know what it is about, you know, Joel. So I agree with you 100%, Easton. Help the popularity, but nigga, you may be the weakest in this group, which really ain't bad because the group is all incredible. You know what I mean? So, you know, but yeah, I just could never peg like why Joel just can't just do it. You know what I mean? But you know, we'll see. Slack, what you got up next, bro?
I'm gonna have to go with Lord Have Mercy from Flip Mode.
Flip Mode.
Probably one of the filthiest voices in hip hop. But when he spit this line, I had to stop the track. I had to go for a quick jog around the block. so Buster Up, the tune "Get Off My Block" is disgusting. Like the DJ scratch.
Oh man, that's my shit.
And then Lord Have comes in with his verse, and then he says, what's it? I pull Minister Malcolm from behind Venetian blinds. By all means necessary, I reach for mine and lift from rooftops golden showers. So he's saying, I pull my dick out and I'm pissing on all you bitches underneath me. So he's calling his dick Minister Malcolm. And behind Venetian blinds, by all means necessary, I'm gonna golden shower on all of you. I was just like, nah. Disgusting.
Flip mode, man. Flip mode,
man. Listen to that song all day long. Amazing.
Yeah, Flip mode was a squad that didn't really
spazzed
blew up, but they should have. Like Flip mode was dope, man.
Yeah.
Flip mode was dope. Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Lord have spaz. He spazzed on that song, bro. He went crazy on that song. Like that's a song I go back and listen to. Like he was saying some wild. Stay in the cut like Ron and Nicole. I was like, oh, come on, man. He going crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy. Edison, what you got up next, bro?
I'm thinking Call Mega, the saga.
Okay. Bush's man.
Yes, love
Mega.
I've been a Mega fan. You know, I probably got all his albums. Dude slept on lyrically, and I get it. You know, everybody got their lane or whatever. But I mean, think about it. Think about the saga. Life ain't fair. Shorty pregnant with nowhere to live, sleeping in a crack house because she don't got no relatives. Her friends want to drink brew and beef about whose cell it is. Now she getting hungry. She smell of marijuana scent. I paint a picture vividly as if Picasso spirit entered me. Staring at the heavens, secluded in a tinted Jeep. I'm sick of hearing eulogies. I realize my nigga blue is a reminder of my past like Greek ruins. Yet his seed keeps blooming. And then the bridge, of course, you know, I still got the blast ski mask to throw on, but I can get rich off the tracks I flow on. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hustling no more. Look at my life, you know? It impressive, very impressive lyrically. A lot of people call him corny or whatever, but at that time, I'm sure I was like one of the only people like promoting him in New York. But he filled a certain lyrical void that was almost non-existent, you know.
I think the thing with Mega is he's one of those MCs you either love him or hate him. There's no like in between. Like he's like with Joel, I'm like Joel's dope. Like you either love him. It's like same with Papoose. Like I know people who like me. I think Papoose is, I don't want to say he's whack, but I just don't see the hype. But then I know people who swear by Papoose. Like yo, this nigga's the greatest fucking rapper ever. You know what I mean? So it's weird how MCs fall in that. And it's the same with Mega. The people who fuck with Mega really fuck with Mega's music. I fuck with Mega personally. Like every time I see a Mega interview, I'm intrigued. I'm like, yo, this nigga is smart as shit. Like, yo, like I could love it's weird. It's like Kevin Hart. I hate Kevin Hart's stand-up, but when Kevin Hart is like giving game, I could listen to Kevin Hart talk all day, but nigga, please just don't tell no jokes. Like that's how I feel about Mega. Like, yo, I could listen to this nigga interview all day. It doesn't speak to me, which is cool. Like I always tell niggas, I think that's dope. I'm glad other people love it because that means there's a black man out here who can get paid legally for doing something he loves. Like I love the fact that people like people who I don't, because I want everybody to win. So I think that's the dope thing about Mega. You know, and again, it's just like food. Some people eat meat, some people don't. You know what I mean? So you know, but that's a dope pull with Mega. Bro, who you got up next, bro?
So this whole song could be quotable for real. I got J Electronica from Exhibit C.
Oh,
and I'm just gonna go with
I already know what part you're gonna go with, my nigga.
My favorite part, yeah. So he say, so now I'm back spitting the heat to pass a polygraph. The Reverend Ron rocking Adidas out on Hollis Ave. The FOI Marcus Garvey, Nikki Tesla. I shock you like the ill electric field, J Electra. Then he go, they call me J Electronica. Fuck that. Call me J Elect Hanukkah, J Elect Yarmulke, J Elect Ramadan Muhammad Salamaka, Wasudo La Sapana, Wata Allah through your monitor. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo.
First
I almost crashed when I heard that.
Bro.
Yeah, that's exact. That was just like, what? Like that was crazy. That song had people waiting 9 years for the album.
Bro, I always tell people, Exhibit C came out December 2009. 2009.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
You know, it's funny, bro. I thought she was gonna do the I was down North Philly 21st task. I thought that's what you was gonna tell me.
Oh yeah. Yo, you know what's so crazy?
I'm listening to Exhibit C, and I'm like, yo, and then he says that. I'm like, yo, this nigga from Philly? Like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck you know about Broad Street 21st task type shit.
And the crazy thing is, I went the year we won a Super Bowl, right? In Philly. Like 2 days later, I went to a Jay Electronica concert at Union Transfer in Philly, right? And he I was wondering like what was he gonna perform? Like no album was, you know what I'm saying, no album was out yet, but he performed a lot of like, you know, the stuff he had out. But he told the thing about him in Philly, like he was like living there. Some of the people he was like living in Philly with homeless with, they were at the concert, you know what I'm saying? Like he brought them up on stage and all that. Like he spent time.
Oh, so that nigga was really homeless?
No, he was homeless. Yeah, he was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sleeping outside and shit. Like he brought up some of the dudes that like was his boys when they were, you know, out on the street like that. Yeah, it was cool.
That's dope. Pete, what you got up next?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Big Pun, and
right.
I kind of hate on Capital Punishment a little bit because of all the skits, but I actually love that album. Without all of the skits, it's just never gonna make a top list because I just think there's 11 to 12 unnecessary tracks on that exhaustive track list. So anyways, one of my favorite, and Pun's got a ton of quotables in there, but I'll just go with the first one. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna go with, if it's, everyone knows this, I think everyone loves it. It's on Tres Leches off Capital Punishment, and he says, if I chose you, froze you from ear to ear, showing your whole vocal, who told you you could roll through my lyrics, practically rose you from the grave like the crows do. I told you a long time ago, don't ever F me, because if I leave you half dead, consider yourself very lucky. I just, when I heard that for the first time, I was like, what is he? He is a savage. This guy has zero, like, he just has zero chill, and he's unapologetically that. You know what I mean? Like, he will be crude, he will be a savage on wax, and people love him for it. So that's always kind of stuck out to me, and it's always resonated in a way. Like, I love Pun for that. So
Bronx people are a little crude.
what?
I said Bronx people are known to be a little bit crude. I work on it every day.
It's just clever. It's just the way he says it, the tone of, like, the accent, just everything about the way he says it is just like, what? Like, what did you just say? Like, do you know what you just said? Because that's crazy. Like, anyways, yeah.
Pun does that, isn't it? He's in my top 10, so I couldn't pick any from him, but I could have had endless Pun.
Oh, yeah. I hear you, Easton.
He's ridiculous.
Yo, the wild part is I just feel like Pun and Big just got taken from us too soon.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, just too soon,
Definitely.
man. You know, both them dudes. Next up, if y'all know me, y'all know I love Pusha T, so no way this was not getting spilled. This is his second verse from Pop Mile with Freddie Gibbs and Killer Mike, where he says, real bars are the ill bars. These scars only real proof that they couldn't kill guards. My coke hand is still sketching out my memoirs. What I did to door panels on the wind stars, Jim Stars left cuts in the dinner plate. It's new staff spots, the AC just don't ventilate. Take over your block, young niggas assimilate. We all break bread like going Dutch on a dinner date. The love of your rap life, nigga, wear fake watches. The serial numbers don't match the gift boxes. The bezel on a Bayline. Just that right there, bro. Like, yo, the serial numbers don't match the gift boxes.
That's nasty.
Yo, the wittiness of it, the bezel of a Bayline blue, due to Tanashi, the bitch told me two-tone rollies was too blase. way more chemical than political. PTSD from what I weighed on the digital. It was snowfall and Reagan gave me the visual. Obama opened his doors knowing I was a criminal. I took a risk. I took a brick, took a road trip to a Motel 6, get it wholesale, and you know I won't tell shit. Ride coattails, then he really want that lit. Just another in the mix, nigga. I'm rich, nigga. Tell me, is you Alpo or Mitch, nigga? Bet it all roulette on my wrist, nigga. Like Cleo setting it off, taking your bitch, nigga. Like, bro, just too many. The whole I took a trip to the Motel 6. That the mixture of the flow to tell me, is you Alpo or Mitch, nigga? I mean, it's just, and this is just Pusha T on every verse. Like, I honestly could have picked damn near any verse, and it's gonna be this. So yeah, Push, Palmolive, man, just crazy. Easton, what you got up for your next joint?
Yeah, agreed, man. Push is insane, definitely. Okay, so this one I'm going with now. So it's a Jada Kiss verse. Once again, Kiss is another type of MC. You can take probably any random verse most of the time. It just seems to not deliver when it comes to albums. But here we go. So he goes, they want to know why I invest all my money into haze and into dope, because right now I'm currently a slave for Interscope. Respect first, then money, basic shit. If you got niggas under pressure, you can take this shit. Listen, I'ma leave you right where you stand. Have the ambulance pass your Timberlands off right to your man, cause he pussy. He ain't gonna do nothing but look. When it comes to beef, he don't wanna do nothing but cook. Yeah, as soon as the chrome's scoping, right there too in the dome smoking. Kiss keep funeral homes open. I fall back, smoke an ounce in the dark. Bounce on a preem track like a bounce on a narc. Keep playing, yo niggas are burn. And you know they say it takes something to happen for niggas to learn. Let the 40 cal give them a burn. This industry is like bacteria and my flow's the germ. Just marriage, you'll never be as nice as I am. J to the ma, and I leave you right where you stand. Yeah,
bro.
Jada Kiss right where you stand.
Right there. Same thing, bro.
There you go. Great mind,
ready for you.
Right there.
Man, Kiss.
That's yeah.
Man.
When you take his verses, man, see his albums ain't terrible, but when you think of the verses that he gives you, his album should be. He should be like a Pusher. Like every single thing he does should just be quotables. But he just, I don't know, man. He just always lets it down on albums for me. But you can't take away from him as an MC. Quotables galore. Quotables galore.
Yeah, it's crazy. We were talking about this on the timeline today. I was saying I never understood why in the 2000s A&Rs were signing street niggas but making them make radio songs.
Right.
Like they did the same with Cassidy, they did the same with Fab, they did the same with Kiss, and I just don't get why you would find these grimy, in the hood, freestyle, incredible MCs to just give them to get up here and make Hotel and fucking you know, all these other all these songs or whatever like that. So I don't get it. Yeah, because Kiss should have a 5 mic album with his eyes closed, like easily. I just don't think. I think he's one of those MCs who just may need help putting together a whole album. Like I really think the executive producer is solely missed in hip hop, and I think like with the right exec producer, like he could have a really dope album, and not just with bars all the time. You know, I'm like, yo, at our age, we need more than bars. Like, you know, there's enough to pull out a Kiss to really make him make an incredible album. You know what I mean? But sad part is I don't know if we'll ever get that. You know, because after that after that MSG massacre of the Dipset, I don't think you can tell that nigga he ain't the best MC fucking ever. You know what I mean? Like, I literally saw the lock stocks go up. And here's the crazy thing. I was in New York. Our hotel was literally right across from MSG the night it happened. And I swear, pre-fucking verses, niggas had Kiss in they top 30, 40, you know, had the locks somewhere there. Post the verses, Kiss was number one. The Locks was the top 5 group ever. And I was like, well, just like I get it. We're a prisoner of the moment, but let's just all like pump the fucking brakes. I love the Locks, but how did they just like just jump all the way to the top 5 group ever? And it was like, oh, Jadakiss is the best MC ever, hands down. It's just like, I get it. But Yeah, now like I said, the sad part is I don't know if we'll ever get it. And it's funny because Style P will have better albums and better mixtapes than Kiss, which I would have never thought of. If you would have told me 20 years ago, yo, Styles P is gonna have a better discography than Kiss, I would have been like, nigga, what are you smoking, nigga? You need to get drug tested tomorrow.
100%. He had the best solo. He makes the best albums. Do you know what I mean? But Kiss is the better MC than Styles. What Styles makes the better album?
Why do y'all think that happens? Like, because it takes me right back to Ghostface. No, if you would have told me in '93 or '94, Ghost is gonna be the nigga out of all these super duper rap niggas who is gonna be holding the Wu down, or if you would have told me in '93 that Ruck, Sean P, is gonna be the one holding this whole boot camp clip. I wonder how that happens. Where like the dude who you don't even think would be the one ends up.
You know the key for me that stands out is what you just said, because I would have said the same thing. Sean P, Ghostface, Styles P. If you think about it, none of them have deviated. None of them have made pop records. All of them have stayed true to what actually made them dope in the first place. Sean Price, you look at his songs on the radio. Styles P, even when he did Gangster and a Gentleman, his most maybe commercial record was I'm High, like Get High, or the Smooth Andy Stone. So he's never done like he's never had the girls on his record or anything like that. Everything he's done has been authentic. And I'm saying with Sean, all of those guys, Ghostface, you could tell Ghostface makes the music he wants to make. Like all his albums, you don't think that's a reach, or even when he did Ghost Dini, he wanted to make that album because he always said he wanted to do that kind of album. So I think these dudes have just made the music they want to make, and that's why they stay dope. Jadakiss, you listen to his albums, you're like, he didn't want to make that tune.
Reaching so many times,
with Pharrell and all these guys. His label was saying, in order for you to sell records, these are the producers you need to have on the album. Styles P, he didn't have none of that shit. He's worked with P Killer and all the guys that made him dope in the first place. These are the guys that he stuck with him. Sean Price, same thing. Who's produced his albums? The grimiest producers out there. So I think that's what it is, man. Features with them guys.
And there's less pressure as well because people weren't looking at them like the stars straight away. So I think they, like Slack said, they was able to just put out what they wanted to put out, like Method Man straight away. Before Wu-Tang even dropped their album, they knew Meth was going to be the star. Do you know what I'm saying? So straight away, he's coming out with Takao. He's under pressure straight away to be a certain way. A lot of these people that come from groups or super groups or crews or whatever that drop solos, that people expect them to have the best project. I feel like they're under pressure to deliver. People like Ghost and Styles P and all these people, they knew they weren't the star of the crew. They could just drop quality material and didn't let it down. But Styles definitely, man. I think Jadakiss needs to try working with one producer and just have a flow, because all of his albums feel like they're all over the place. So you kind of feel like this section's for this group, and that's cool. I get it. You're trying to do what you do, but you feel like he don't even know what direction he wants to go in. But with Styles, you really feel like he's giving you what he wants to give you. Especially Gangster and Gentleman. To this day, it's the best lock solo for me.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know what I mean?
What were you gonna say, Pete?
No, I was gonna say I also think that like the attention being on other members of their groups kind of works to, in my opinion, like sort of gives them more of that hunger, more of that drive, because they're kind of sitting there going, okay, well, everyone's got Meth on front and center. Well, like, I need to kind of establish myself here too. So, and on top of the fact that they stay consistent and stay in their lane and put out what they want to put out, there's also the drive and the hunger in there too.
True.
That's what I think it is, maybe, at least part of it.
Yeah. Nah, I love.
Is it a less pressure though when you're not that guy? You know what I'm saying? I think somebody was kind of hinting at, like, is it less pressure when you go solo to try to fit to something when you're like the slept on guy of the crew? You feel what I'm saying? Like when Kiss came out with a solo album, he probably had all these expectations that the label and other people was trying to make him meet, whereas Styles like maybe had a little more creative control and maybe less pressure and less stuff that he could just be himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what Slack said, I never thought about it like that. But when you don't have pressure, because to be honest with you, usually when we listen to music, we're basing it off our expectation of that MC.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, if you have super duper high expectations for an AZ album because you really fuck with AZ, and I have really low expectations for it, we can come out at two totally different viewpoints, because I'm looking at it like, I expected nothing and I got a 4. You're expecting a 5 and got a 3, so you're disappointed.
Exactly.
I'm like, shit, that AZ shit was dope to me because I didn't expect anything. So I'm always trying, because it's this revisionist history with meth, where niggas like, oh, nobody expected meth to be shit. And I'm like, y'all niggas must have not been the fuck outside. Because in 1994, Def Jam was doing Month of the Man, and it was Redman, and it was Method Man, and it was everything. We were supposed to be talking about Method Man. When niggas say who the best MC, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas, it was supposed to be Biggie, Jay-Z, or Method Man. Like, Method Man's name was supposed to be that nigga had next.
He was on the cover of Source Vibe XXL. He had Blazing. Like, he was on the cover of everything for a period of time. Like, everything.
Right. But it also goes back. It also goes back to age, because me and Eddie have talked about this. Eddie said he may have been 12 when Tikal dropped. I'm like, nigga, I'm 20, 21. So again, our expectations as a 12-year-old to a 21-year-old are totally fucking different. So he's like, nah, I like Tikal. Bro, you was 12. I get that. And I'm 21. We're in different headspaces. So, but Meth was supposed to be that guy. So our expectations of it were high. Whereas, like was saying with Ghost, when I saw Ghost on Cuban Links, I ain't had any expectation for Ghost. In fact, I forgot Ghost was even in the fucking clip. Like, I'm like, okay, we getting Ray, we getting Jizza, we getting Deck. I was probably thinking you guy before Ghost. You know what I mean? So, with not having any expectation, imagine if we'd had no expectations of Tikal. We may actually think that shit is a 4.5 mic album for niggas my age. But because it was yo, this is supposed to be Ready to Die, this is supposed to be Illmatic, that's why we're like, it's not that good. So that's why age plays such a huge part in how we view a same album, because as a 12-year-old, I'm like, Eddie, I don't know how much expectations was for Meth as a 12-year-old. Like, a 12-year-old is what, fucking 6th, 7th grade? Dog, I ain't thinking about rap like that. Like, but at 21, I'm like, yo, this nigga Meth this shit better be fucking, Into the Stage. It better be Doggy Style. It better be. That's why we got to give Snoop props, because Snoop had so much oomph behind Doggy Style, and that nigga delivered.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. A lot of times people didn't deliver. Meth did not deliver.
Look at Cannabis, bro. Look at Cannabis.
What you gonna say, Slack?
I was gonna say, look at Cannabis. I had this conversation today where someone was like, oh, but the Cannabis album was good. And I was like, he said, why does it get so much hate? And I said, it doesn't get hate. You need to stop using that word hate, because the album was disappointing. And the reason it was disappointing is because before the album came out, Cannabis was killing everything, everybody, every beat. He was killing everything. Everybody that was up on hip hop was like, this guy is the second coming of Jesus. This album drops, it's gonna destroy everything. So the album dropped, and we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, this ain't what we wanted. So it doesn't mean that the album is trash. It just means that before it came out, all of us that loved hip hop, our expectation was 11. He gave us a 4. So everyone now who's listening to it, when all the expectations gone, they can listen to it now, not having any of that expectation, none of that pressure.
Exactly.
And they say, it's a good album. But we're like, that ain't what we wanted. You know what I mean? So we're looking at it from two completely different perspectives.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I told niggas I'm about to start being like the club. You have to show me your fucking ID before we get into a conversation. I need to know how old you are, nigga. Like, you gotta show me something, because like you said, it's gonna be two totally different viewpoints. And I get it, but this is why, if you was there, that's why it's plays such an important part. Like, when niggas like, Kill, I'm your age. How old are you? 41. Nigga, you are not my fucking age just because we're in the same decade. Like, nigga, we are 8 years apart, my nigga. Like, that is
in hip-hop, in music, that's a
8 years in hip-hop is like dog years.
Yeah, that's not my age, but people think, oh, but we're in the 40s together. Nigga, no, I'm about to be in the 50s next year. So we are not in the same age bracket just because we both got a 4 in front of the fucking second number or the first number, whatever the fuck. But yeah, so Slack, what's your next joint? Or did you go? I forgot. I left off with.
It's
just on you, Slack. All right.
Right, so I'm kind of torn because, all right, so what I'll do, I'll give you the verse that I was going to do, and then I'll give you the lines of the dude that I picked. So the verse was Sticky Fingers, Purse Snatchers. If you guys are familiar with that verse of the All We Got Is Us album, where he ends every line with should. So he's like, what's he? Whatever he says throughout that whole verse is just crazy, and he's talking about being a black man in America. But the way that he frames that verse, it's just incredible, man. I could go back and listen to that like a million times. So from there it says, I need the participation with Caucasian assassination. Time is wasting, it's a sticky situation. Try to stop reproduction to come off a population. There's no exaggeration. So whoever in association with the nigger retaliation that needs a total cooperation with hours of desperation. For your information, the confrontation will be fought by the younger generation. Because we get determination, all we need is organization. So I use my concentration with a Jim Crow education. Because history repeats itself. Your destination, your plantation. I mean,
I see people shaking her head. She loves
this man, and that guy is insane.
He slept on hard, man.
He absolutely killed that verse, man.
I think the hard part with all them dudes is when you think Onyx, you just think throw your guns in the air. The slam. Again, it's like what I've learned in life, everybody out there watching, there's a gift and curse with everything in life. There's a gift and a curse with everything. You make more money at your job, you got to work longer hours. So everything, there's a gift, there's a curse. And I think the gift was with them doing slam and MTV and everybody picking up on it and all of that shit. It was like a gift because now everybody knew Onyx, but now I feel like that's all they're known as, is these bald head dudes.
Bro. When people talk about Tretch, it's like Hip Hop Hooray or OPP or what's the other tune they had where they're doing the snowboarding or whatever.
Filmy Flow, yeah.
Right. So people that know the big songs, the singles, like they don't look back and think Tretch was nasty. Like when Tretch absolutely
nice.
Again, for a time and moment, Tretch was the nastiest MC earth. Now, how long that time and moment was, I can't say, but there was a time when Uptown Anthem, Yoke the Joker, even a joint, everything's gonna be all right. Like even that, like you think that's a single, but when that nigga says if you ain't from the ghetto, don't ever come. Like so. Like you said, it's the same point. It's the gift and curse that they're like, oh, Naughty by Nature, they're the little hip hop anthem people. And it's like, nigga, Tretch? Like, y'all got no idea how nasty he is. So, like, exactly, it's like, that's the gift and the curse. You're on MTV, everybody's going, hey, ho, and all of that shit. But, New York niggas are the craziest. Them niggas stayed with a joint. But if you didn't actually peel back the onion and listen to the album, you don't understand how nasty Tretch really was, at that time and point. So great quote, Sticky.
We were dissecting it. We were peeling back the onion at that time. You know what I mean? So I mean, we were doing it.
Yeah,
those of us during that time. The rest. We knew all the cuts. We knew it from cover to cover.
Right.
That's the sad part.
And I forgot the joint he had on New Jersey Drive. What was the name of that?
Oh yes.
No, not Guardian Girl. Sorry, that was
Connections.
Connections. That was with Rotten Rascal.
He had a joint on New Jersey Drive that was just stupid. Naughty had a joint on there. So again, like you said, Edison, the heads did, but once you get to MTV, and again, I was just talking to Naomi about this today, because she was like talking about, she watched the N1 documentary. She was like, people were wearing N1s, and I was like, I don't think people in the hood were wearing N1s. But, once you blow up like that, it's not a lot of black folk in the United States. Pennsylvania is a predominantly white state. You know what I mean? Like, Philly's a very small part of Pennsylvania, so we don't have too many black states out here. So something can blow up and black folk can have nothing to do with it at all. You know what I mean? So like you said, Edison, the heads knew, but once you're on MTV, the majority of people buying those albums aren't going to be us. you know, and they're only buying the album for those singles and kind of skipping over it. Edison, what you got for your next one, bro?
Well, I think I must have been mind reading Slack for a minute, not on Sticky, but I got Fredro Starr, Last Days.
Ooh, God.
I mean, since we're talking about all of this, I'm America's Nightmare, young, black, and just don't give a fuck. I just want to get high and live it up. So fucking 9 to 5. Why are you trying to slave us with minimum wages? Slamming my niggas up in cages. Changing their behaviors and spitting razors, that's outrageous. Smoking roaches is hopeless. We want lazy sofas and sculptures. Lady chauffeurs who fuck us. Full house and royal flushers. Roll with the rushes, that official Nas. Got bitches with pistols and cash. We living in the last. My theory is fuck it. Sexy niggas get abducted.
I never understood that line right there. Never understood the sexy niggas get abducted. I just never got that one. But
maybe they're getting not a good place.
All I know is I've never said, hey, Rel, look at that sexy nigga, let's rob him. But neither here nor there, I don't want any beef. I don't want any beef with the LGBT community. There's no beef. I just never understood why he said sexy niggas get abducted. He could have said thorough niggas get abducted, rich niggas get abducted, niggas with money get abducted. I just never understood the word. Huh?
Oh, inducted.
What's inducted?
Like taken into the crew.
Wherever the fuck you want to get inducted to. He didn't say abducted.
Oh, I thought he said abducted, like we're gonna rob him. That's even worse. That we're gonna bring sex. I never said, "Hey, bro, let's look at this nigga. Let's bring him on in. Apartment 5, bitch. Let's bring him on in. That sexy looking nigga right here. We're gonna induct him in the apartment 5, bitch. Wonderful verse. I just never understood that one little part. Just that's it. I'm sorry. Keep going, Edson. I'm sorry to rip up your phone.
No. I mean, that's it. I mean. Head on the metal, foot on the metal, never settle. We were Carolina Herrera, dirty down the Karen Shredder, 411s the Suedes. Go play your guns with grenades. To blow up, I got nuked from the informers, trapped in corners, plus the shots of time warners. At that point, I grew up in New York City, but still, I was already in my 20s at that time, and it was still like, holy shit, yo, like what did dude just say, man?
Man, that's a perfect.
He doesn't come up, does he? He never comes up.
That's a perfect hip hop song right there, man. That beat was incredible. Just everything about the video was crazy.
Yeah, I get the same feeling every time I hear the song, and not many songs should do that.
Yeah.
Word. What's crazy? When that album came out, that was what, 95? Or we got
95, 96. Yeah.
So I spent the summer of 95 in New York with my family. That album was. It sounds like New York, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like from top to bottom, that album just sounds like everything we were seeing, everything that was going on at that point in time. I could feel New York when I hear that album.
Sounds like it, smells like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything about it was just New York.
Man, good.
That's an incredible album.
And then going back to Slack with Sticky, even his verse on that, you know, like the way
thinking about taking my own life.
My favorite.
What the hell?
My favorite out of
I sell weed in hell, and that's where I'm going because the devil's inside. Yeah. I said, this nigga said the devil's inside of him. This nigga's going to hell. Like, yo, what the fuck? There's some wild niggas right here. A sexy nigga got abducted. You're going to hell. Like, what the fuck is this doing? Ain't nobody gonna be that nigga goddamn song, but sexy niggas.
He's on top of a building looking like a gargoyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Don't pull with that one, Edison. That shit was crazy. P, I know you gotta get ready to go. Do you have any other joints left?
No, I have just another one from Pun, but I don't need to.
No. Why don't you do it first, and then Rel can go, and then we'll finish up with the last ones.
Okay, so my last one for Pun is, and the reason I love this Quotable is because I think it's an important thing to say. I don't know how many people kind of pay attention to it, but it's he says, so this is off of Parental Discretion, off Capital Punishment, and he says, I challenge the statistics. Violence existed before our music was even suggested. Arrested on sight, it's like there's no rights. That's why I rhyme so aggressive and bring every message to life. And I love that, because I hear it all the time where people are like, but hip hop is what has created all this violence, and hip hop perpetuates violence. And it's like, well, it's a really big conversation, a lot to unpack, but it didn't start with hip hop. Like, let's be very, very real. This stuff did exist before. So I just like that pun kind of address that in that song. I like that a lot.
All right, no doubt. Porsche, where can I get at you, sis?
On Twitter at @SherShayLaPorsche. And I just wanted to actually, before I go, and I'm sorry to take up your guys' time, this new book dropped. It's called
I
Fresh
heard about
Life.
that joint.
Did you cop it?
No, I haven't. Kel just sent it to me.
Oh yeah,
Like, he sent me the link to it today, and then I saw you posted it today. So.
Yeah, so this dropped on February 7th, and it's literally for the 50th anniversary of hip hop's birthday, and it just goes through 50 years of hip hop fashion. And I was leafing through it yesterday, and I was like, I saw all this, so much low in here.
That's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
No,
That's
Purchase. That's all.
you
Yeah,
say.
purchase. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
needs to come.
You-
So
Purchase.
everybody who loves hip hop fashion and wants to see like the evolution of it, that's a very dope book. And I just want
Where's the part with the purses and the tight jeans, and is there a part in there at the back?
yes, and Timberland, and it's got Big's glasses. It's
No.
got-
I mean the men's purses. The men's
It has that too.
the skinny jeans.
Yes, it does have the more recent fashion as
Yeah.
well. It does. But I also want to plug Apartment 5B, an episode, I think it was back in 2021. I can't remember the exact month, but we did a show on hip hop fashion. So if that's something that interests you, definitely check out that episode. It's on willmakebeatsforfood.com. And if you just Google that with hip hop fashion, it'll come up. And definitely cop this book, because it is a time capsule. And it's a good year to get it, because it's hip hop's 50th birthday. So that's it. I'll leave you guys. Thank you. So good to see everybody.
Thank you, P. And remember, everybody out there, if you are DMing her, just spit a quick 16 about love, bro. I promise you will at least get a heart emoji return. I can't promise you no date or nothing like that, but she will at least give you the heart emoji. Okay? Got to write something about love. That's all you gotta do. Shit, it don't get easier than that. So nobody should fuck that up. All right, P. I'll check you next week, baby.
Okay, take care. And I hope Rel plugs his new joint that he dropped, because I've listened to it so many times since he sent it, and it's super, super dope. So I hope he plugs it at the end. Okay, bye, guys.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Appreciate it.
Rel, what you got up?
Yo, I'm gonna take it back a little bit. I'm gonna go with OC from Time's Up. And yeah, my favorite part is where it's at. He said, that's what I consider real in the field of music. Instead of putting brain cells to work, they abuse it. Non-conceptual, non-exceptional. Everybody's either crime related or sexual. Like, that was like, yo, like he called out, yo, the shoe fits, buy a matching purse. Cause he called out a lot of y'all dudes, a lot of them dudes that was, you know, out at the time, man. And you know, that's another song where you could have picked so many different parts of that song. And that's another, to me, a perfect hip hop song to me. Beat, flow, everything. You know what I'm saying? So I went with that. Time's Up. Another one, when I heard it, I just lost my mind.
It's funny because we were talking about Master IC. I don't know if you were on yet. And just how crazy that was, and it being a slow tempoed song. Like, Time's Up is not no get the party started song. You know what I mean? And it's similar to Master IC. It's both produced by Buck Wild, as a matter of fact. But yeah, just, I mean, perfect. Even to that Slick Rick sample of, you know, Your Time's Limited, Hard Rocks too. Like, This the whole entire song is just crazy as hell. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Grown-up
definitely.
rap.
What you say, Edison?
That's grown people rap.
Yeah.
Regardless of how old we were, we're gonna die one day. It'll always be grown people rap. That's not for the children.
Word.
All right, for my last joint, the album that I've been praising the most since last year, I thought I had. Oh, I do right here. Freddie Gibbs, man. This Soul Sold Separately, man. I love this album. 5 mics to me. I play it all the time. This is one of them albums. This, Stove God, and Sci-Hi's No Dope on Sunday reminds me of when I was a kid growing up listening to hip hop. Because back in those days, you wanted to know the words to the song. You wanted to be able to rap along with Ain't No Half Stepping and Nobody Beats the Biz. And you would listen to it over and over and over again because you wanted to know the words. Stove Gods, this, and Sci-Hi's No Dope on Sundays. That's how I feel about this. Like, I listen to this to want to know the rhymes. And I always, challenge people. When people say like, yo, I love this album, I love this song, and I'm like, can you spit it? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, how the fuck do you love it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you love it? And here's the thing, like I always say, we all have different definitions for the same word. My definition of love for hip hop is probably going to be a lot deeper than a lot of other people because hip hop truly saved my life. Like, from Chuck D and Public Enemy, me not selling drugs, from me being kind of like the hip hop guy in my neighborhood, kind of kept me cool with a lot of niggas who may have fucking robbed me or fucked me up, but it was like, okay, that's who you go to for your music, or he DJing, or woo woo. So hip hop has really saved my life. So I love it just so much more. But it's like, for you to be like, yo, something is your album of the year, but you can't rap along with it. I'm like, dog, that's no fun to me. Like, that was the fun of hip hop. Like, being able to say the B-I-G, D-A-double-D-Y-K-N. I can't tell you how many times we would sit there and rewind that back till we could say it just like Kane did. So I'm gonna end with this joint called this joint is called Dark Hearted off of this, and I think I can spit it off the head. So it's Dirty 30 in my hand, DEA detectives, they got me cuffed to an ambulance. Nigga ain't no solving no murders, welcome to Murderland. Send a hit and scratch off a hit, bitch, I'm the murder man. Pray the Lord put his hands on me. And I know I took my risk when I put my hands in it. All my enemies watching, they plot and plan on me. They gonna end up one of them dead homies. But how can niggas stand on it when it ain't the truth? Pussy niggas ran on me when it's time to shoot. Motherfucking friends got them bitches out my crew. I know you won't fuck with me if I ain't have no loot, cause I'm the one to push a hard line. Tell me what niggas know about hard time. Empty stomach, give me the heart to go do a homicide. Know some bitch niggas who snitch. Niggas on my side, still a rich nigga with mob ties, cause niggas we was locked in. Me and 6 of my niggas in one apartment. I was pushing that Molly Pod and Heart Den. Back when bitches, they used to play with my heart then. Police might shoot me and kill me over my dark skin. Man, this game got me dark hearted. Smoke and drink like an alcoholic, don't get me started. I thought we was gonna thug it out to the end, but I guess that shit just wasn't in the plans. I played my chopper, never jam. So that right there was just, and the flow, and then he goes in the Dirty 30 in my hand, shoot him. If he ain't DOA, we shoot up the ambulance. When I just visualize that, it's like, yo, we shot you, but you're not dead, so now we gotta go shoot up the fucking ambulance with you in it. So again, just an incredible album. I literally could have picked so many songs off of this. He's got a joint on here with Pusha called Gold Rings. That's just that Pusha just goes in again.
Let me ask you a question. Joe. What does Freddie Gibbs have to do to get his props? Like, this man has given us Pinata, he gave us Bandana, he gave us SSS, he gave us Fetty, he gave us You Only Live Twice, he gave us Alfredo. I know you didn't like Alfredo much.
No, I did like Alfredo. I did.
I could play the album now today, and it's still crazy to me. Freddie Gibbs is an amazing rapper. Like, all those albums I just lifted off, and that's just the top of my head. So all the other stuff that I might have even forgotten, Freddie Gibbs is an incredible rapper, man. Like, he's given us, at least the last 5 years, just quality projects, top to bottom.
I don't think. Go ahead, Edson. You got it.
I think it goes back to everything we talking about. It's like nostalgia, who you like, how old you are, what time, where were you, blah blah blah. Dude, like, not many in the last 5 years have his catalog. I didn't even know Freddie Gibbs until probably messing with Kill on Twitter, and I started following certain things, not entire albums, but just certain songs, certain projects. So it's like, after a while, it's like, all right, you know what? This may not be my lane right now, but this dude is dope. You know, and then progression. You know, I mean, that's my opinion on that, man.
I think he's so good, man. I just don't understand why he's not like, and that consistency too. Like everything that he's dropping is not just. It's not just. It's like it's high level shit. And that SSS album, that a lot was riding on the album because that was his first like real major label album. So that could have gone really left, but it didn't. There's maybe 2 or 3 songs on there that I could do without, and they're the obvious ones. The radio reaches. He got a song with Offset, I think. He's got a song with Moneybag, and another one that I wasn't too fan of. But the rest, all killer.
Yeah. I think the thing with Gibbs is if this was the 90s, maybe even the early 2000s, he would be known more because of the consistency. I think nowadays you kind of gotta have the whole package. You know what I mean? So when I think about Griselda, I think of, I don't know where this became the shit, because I'm with Jay. Y'all respect the nigga who got shot. I respect the shooter. Like 50 getting shot 9 times, I think that played into him being able to do Get Rich or Die Trying. Definitely. You know, Game, getting shot, it helped. Like, it's like getting shot helps. Like, I'll never forget on this fucking Sopranos when Lord Jamar was on there and he was the rapper and they was like, yo, we gotta shoot, like, we need to shoot you to kind of get you, you know, like back out there again. But there was a time in hip hop where that was literally if you're dead in the water and East and nobody buying your records, have somebody get shot 9 times and survive. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's gonna resurrect your whole career. And I just think, like, when you think of Griselda, like Conway, it's like, yo, I got shot. Like, I love Conway to death, but this nigga says it in every fucking song. Like, I got shot in the head. I got shot in the head. I got shot in my head. I got shot in the head. I got, like, so you had, yo, the nigga is gonna tell you every album he got shot in his head 8 times, like, easily. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's what makes it him. And then when you look at West Side, West is just this, the way he dresses, his vocals, his I just feel like Freddie is just a regular bald head, dark skinned nigga. Like, that's all he is, who rhymes. And I don't know if being a regular dark skinned bald nigga in 2023 is enough to make you blow up. Like, I think this is probably
he's a character though. I'd say he's a funny guy. He is genuinely hilarious. What I think didn't help him was the beef with Griselda. Like, that was ridiculous, because if them two really got together, they could have made some amazing music together. That was a little bit ridiculous. And like his antics and stuff, I get it, but I've seen him do TV shows, he's done movies, and he's a genuinely funny dude. And if you actually listen to music, he's always dropping little comedy in there and stuff. Like, and he knows how to rap. Like, he can rap over any beat. He can do a DJ Cool beat, the Alchemist beat, and he can kill all of them.
Here's a good question. Do you think Benny and Conway are bigger than Freddie?
Yeah, I think so. Popularity wise,
I'd say probably. That's a good question.
Because I would say so off the top that they're bigger, but I'm like, I don't. But here's the thing: I wouldn't know why, because I would think Freddie is, to me, just as dope as an MC as Benny or Conway. Definitely. But I will say this: I didn't get that from Freddie until this album. Like, I always thought Freddie was dope. You know what I mean? But I would never be like, oh, he's top 5 walking the planet Earth. Like, after Soul Separately, now I'm like, oh, he's top 5 walking the planet Earth.
All right, but let me ask you this then, because you love Bandana as much as I do. You've got Bandana at 5 mics too, right?
Yeah.
Pinata, that's got to be pretty close. That's got to be at least a 4.5, at least. Alfredo, like, if you're talking about quality albums that are 4 mics above, he's done it, man.
He's got it, but I don't know if quality is what makes you popular nowadays.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, like, that's the thing, because if you look at Conway's discography, I think the thing that's hurting Griselda now is they put out so much music. Like, you know, like I got like, where's my Conway section right here? Like I was fucking with Con, and then like after a while I kind of lost it because it was like, okay, my rejects is downstairs. Then he had Goat. Then he had the Black Album. Yeah. Then it was like Everybody's Food. Then it was this, and then it was that. And like this was alright to me, but after like this one, it kind of just started just coming every other day. Like you know, this shit. God, what was the joint he did with Alchemist? Lulu. Yo, you couldn't have told me if the year that Lulu dropped, the year before, my number one album that I would have prayed to the hip hop gods for was an Alchemist Conway album, and that Lulu shit let me down. Like it was just blah at best, and I felt like ever since then, kind of just been on like this steep downhill slide of just like. And again, I don't know if I'm just tired of hearing it. Like maybe it's just, you know, we know the shooting, there's the guns and more guns. Like I don't know if I'm just tired of the guns, but I feel like what Freddie is doing is talking about a lot of real shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So I say all that to say that I think Freddie has a much more consistent discography than Benny and Conway. So I don't know why Benny and Conway are more popular. Which just leads me to say, well, maybe it's just because your discography and the content isn't as important. I gave Tana Talk 3 4.5 mics when it came out. I think it's 5 mics now. 5 mics. Somebody got at me on Twitter and they said, Kill, man, I thought you fucked with Griselda. And I was like, I do. I love Griselda. He was like, well, why'd you give it a 4.5? You gotta give it a 5 if you fuck with Griselda. And I was like, no, nigga, I'm gonna give it what the fuck I think it should get. But that's the way that this generation thinks. Like, if you fuck with Griselda, why wouldn't you say it's 5 mics, regardless if you don't think it's 5 mics?
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if content matters anymore.
There's no in between now. I was talking to my girl about this literally the other day. We were talking about the difference between good and whack. Like before, we could say an album's 3.5 mics, and to us, that's dope. That's good. Like
it is,
you know what I mean? Keith Murray's debut album got 3.5 mics when it came out, and you know, a load of good albums 3.5 mics, and we said that's good. If you say that now, they're like, oh man, why are you dissing the album? It's like, bro, that's over halfway. Like it's
now my young boy taught me that. He was like, oh gee, if you don't give it 5 mics, you might as well call it trash. Like if you know. Because I'm like you, if I get something 4 mics, I'm like, nigga, that's respectable. Like, it's like, nah, it's either hot. So that's the thing. I think, you know, the content doesn't matter. And, you know, I think the thing that got Griselda bubbling was the Alchemist name. It was the Conway got shot. Even the first time I saw him, the first thing that drew me in was his face. Like, I'm like, why is his face like that? You know, how can he rap like that? Which made me go down the rabbit hole of, oh shit, the nigga got shot, blah, 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 blah. I just don't know if Gibbs kind of has that story behind
him. You know what Gibbs doesn't have? He doesn't have people around him.
That's what I was going to say.
If Benny came out on his own, people really be fucking with Benny like that? Probably not.
That's
if
exactly
Conway came out on his own, Conway's got a little bit more of a mystique about him because, you know, like you said, he did get shot, he's got a story. If Westside came out on his own, people wouldn't be fucking with him the same. They came as a crew. So I think if Freddie came out with other people, he might be because he might have, because you know Benny can bounce off Conway and Conway can bounce off West, but Freddie's on his own.
No, that's a great point. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that whole crew dynamic because it was like, okay, it's Weston and Conway, and then they brought out Benny. You know what I mean? It was almost like on some Wu-Tang shit, like in this person's next, and this person's next. And you're right, Benny is. Freddie is just Dolo. You know what I mean? Because he has the names behind him. I mean, you got Madlib, two albums with Madlib. You got joints with Alchemist. So I've always wondered, is Al in the middle of this whole Benny, Freddie beef? Because, you know, he does beats for both of them.
I don't think so. He does beats for everybody. Like, you're not a rapper now unless you got that with Alchemist.
Right, but I'm just like, you know, it's Freddie like, yo, nigga, you gotta choose a side. I know how niggas are, especially when niggas crews break up. It's like when Rockefeller broke up. Like niggas is gonna choose sides. Like I'm wondering if just niggas are like, you know, can Alchemist, because Alchemist got a track on this, and then Alchemist did half of fucking Tana Talk 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? So prayerfully they leave leave him alone and let him do him. But I also know it could be niggas like, nigga, you better pick a side. You either rocking with Griselda or you rocking with, especially because it's gotten physical between them two. You know what I mean? Like if it was just rap and we just talking shit, but yo, when they jumped the boy up in Buffalo, like that kind of took it to another level. So, you know, it is like, dog, I get it, it's music and all that shit, get yours, but nigga, you have to choose a side type thing. Like, nigga, we went to the Grammys together, Al, like what that nigga Benny does. You know what I mean? So, what you gonna say, Edison?
That's true.
I was gonna say, we've already seen it happen over and over and over in hip hop. So I used to tell my daughter this when she was like in middle school and high school about whatever rapper she was into. In a few years from now, let's say 5 to 10 years from now, I could probably guarantee you, for me, I'm probably gonna navigate towards Freddie than Griselda.
Right.
No diss to Griselda, but to me, that's gonna speak more, and it's gonna hold this weight. It's gonna hold this value longer. You know?
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Nah, that's a great point. And even with that, to me, I feel like this is just a great album. Like, I feel like it's a real album. Like, I feel like with Griselda, and again, it's no knock, I feel like them niggas would just name a song anything. Like, I can't probably even tell you my top 5 Conway songs because I feel like it could just be Green Hawk. You know, Red Boston Cap. You know what I mean? Like, them niggas name a song anything. And I can't even remember it, where I hate skits. Everybody knows I fucking hate skits. I even love the skits on this fucking album. They're put together perfectly.
Because it's part of the album. That's why.
Like, this is a real throwback to when niggas made albums and put onto the album and everything. And I kind of felt like with most people, it's not just Griselda. I think it's just most people are like, oh, just throw some songs on there and let that shit rock. You know what I mean? But like Edison said, if you ask me, am I going to listen to Rejects 2 or this more in 5 years? It's going to be this. I listen to this more than Rejects 2 now. Right. You know what I mean? So, but I do think that's a great point, Easton and Slack, that Benny's just not with a crew. So it's kind of hard to just be out here on the block. It's like a nigga trying to come to your hood, sell drugs. Like, nigga, who crew you with? Oh, I'm Dolo. Like, nigga, you going to be standing Dolo then because you're by yourself. So I do think that's a dope point. Easton, what you got for your last joint, brother?
Right, my last one. So I'm going to go to Exhibit Foundation. I thought it was a sick verse then, but obviously with time going on now, having children of my own, having a son of my own, seeing how things are, it's even more potent now, man. So yeah, Exhibit Foundation. Hit back when hit. Use force that's effective. All these bitches and women, son, please be selective. This is California, can't stick your dick in everything. We will survive necessarily by any means. Let no man ever hold you down or suppress you. It's the 90s, the police just arrest you, disrespect you, on occasion take life. By the time you come of age, they'll probably blast on sight. It's a shame they protect them and try to serve us. When your neck is on the line, stand ground and bust. In God we trust, but just in case, keep it loaded and locked, ready to rock and shake the spot, the foundation. Hard verse, man. Hard song, those bars. When he goes, it's the 90s, and we looking at it now, 2023, same thing's happening, man. By the time you come of age, they'll probably blast on sight. Come on, man.
Yeah, man, that is a dope verse now, for real.
Bro, Exhibit, man. Exhibit was so nasty. I feel like it was just, and it's the gift and curse that Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride, man.
You know what I mean? It's like, I get it. It's a gift. You're going to get this money. You got a TV show, blah, 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 blah. But the curse is niggas going to know you for Pimp My Ride than for the bars and all the stuff that you really have. And that's what I mean, man, is people watching. I'm telling y'all, I'm about to be 49 next month. It's a gift and curse with everything. You know what I mean? So, and I just think that that's the thing, because people forget about how nasty Exhibit was when he first came out and how he was down with the licks, and you know, he came from that lineage, you know, of lyricists, but you know, it's always gonna be, you know, Pimp My Ride type nigga. So
that's a shame. At the Speed of Life was fire. That was a good album.
Love it, man. Personal classic for me, man.
And it's crazy, bro. You know, my man Roots did it. I think he did 2 joints on that joint. On
word.
Yeah, he did 2 joints on there. So again, it's just, and it's weird because you can't get out in just enough time. It was a couple of years ago. Damn, I was about to say a couple of years ago. Like, this is when Idris was still on the wire. And me and him were gonna connect on some music, and I met up with his manager, and he was saying how Al Pacino had told Idris, like, yo, get the fuck out while you can before you're typecasted your whole career as Stringer Bell, because you play him so fucking well. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons why he wanted to get killed off the wire, because when I look at Idris now, like, I never thought in a million years that this man is a superstar. Like, I know he caught some slack a while ago when he said something like, I don't want to just be known as a black actor, and black folk got mad. But it's like, I feel him like, nigga, I'm a movie fucking star. Like, I'm in all kinds of movies, nigga. I'm in some Marvel movies. I'm on some movies. This nigga got a movie with a white chick on the damn mountain from the airplane done blew up. Like, this nigga is a certified movie star. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he could have been that if he would have stayed Stringer, because you just stayed, like Al Pacino had told him, like, dog, I've done all these movies. I'm always going to be Scarface. You know what I mean? And it's sad that we don't understand that, or maybe Exhibit, and it's always about with you. But I just always wish that there was someone there to give you some game. Like the way Al Pacino gave Idris that game. Like, hey, Exhibit, I know you doing this Pimp My Ride shit is dope, but nigga, if you want to go down as one of the best lyricists, maybe do one more season and dip the fuck out and get back to the lab, and then maybe Exhibit could have been like, nah, fuck that. I don't care how people look at me. I'm getting this back. That's cool. That's your decision that you made. But from the work I do with my teams, I'm just very big on giving them, game, so then they can make decisions based off of it themselves, But I think that, that's probably the game somebody should have gave Exhibit. Like, yo, get this bag, but let's get back. If you want to be known as a lyricist, if you want to go down in the history books as a MC, you got to step away from this Pimp My Ride shit, or do it and, take the season off and make a dope album. I feel like so many rappers post 2000 weren't making great albums because they was trying to do 50 million things at once. I'm trying to do 2 movies. I've got 5 commercials. I always tell niggas, Stevie Wonder couldn't make songs in Key of Life trying to sell sunglasses and sneakers and fucking being in 5 movies. Like, no, that nigga was keyed in on songs in the Key of Life. Like, that's all that nigga had going on for him. So, but yeah, Exhibit was a dope pull, Easton, because he's somebody we don't talk about at all.
Definitely,
like, ever. I never seen Exhibit
albums. Definitely, man.
Ever. Slack, who you got for your last one?
For the last one, I'm gonna go with the great Rock Marcy. So there's a couple, man, but the song I think I'll go with is You Know the Rules, Let the Jewels Go Smooth. They never
show you niggas Pro Tools.
I was like, the way he just started that verse, man, just so disrespectful. And then when he's like, my shoes literally from Italy, lean on the cane like I got muscular dystrophy. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, the way the man puts the words together, and he's just so casual with it, but he's so casually disrespectful, and he just knows that he's good. He just makes it so much better.
When that nigga said, "Who you think you Mr. T? Richard Brown? You the new Mr. Richard Roundtree?" Like, nigga, please. You know what I mean? Here's the funny thing about that verse on Rex Ryan is, Rejects 2 was my first intro to Griselda, and I'm listening, and I'm 3 songs in, and I'm like, this sounds very Rock Marcy-ish. This sounds these niggas are really biting Rock Marcy. And then the 3rd song is Rex Ryan, the song you're quoting. And I was like, oh, okay, so they're cool with each other. Because I was just about to say, these niggas are really taking rock style to the bank. So it's funny now. I think they got a little beef now brewing or whatever like that. But it was just ironic because it's like, yo, this is really on some old Rock Marcy type shit right here that y'all are doing. You know what I mean? The whole Derringer, Griselda sound to me was just Rock Marcy, so crazy, but yeah, very dope verse. Rock Marcy is another one of those MCs like Mega and Papoose to me. Either you love them or you hate them. And on this side of the fence, I love Rock Marcy. But then there's other people, they be like, yo, sell me on Rock Marcy. nigga, I can't. If you've heard the nigga, I can sell you on somebody you ain't heard. Have you heard Rock Marcy? Yes. Do you like him? No. Well, nigga, then there's nothing to sell you on. You don't like him.
That's
What
me,
you gonna
man.
say, Easton?
I was gonna say that's me, unfortunately, man. On paper, he's dope, but when I hear him, it's just I don't know, man. He don't connect with me, man.
And the funny thing is, I get it. I'm not one of the people who like, what? I totally get it. Rock is not like, I get it. You know, when people say they don't like West Side Gun, I'm like, yo, I thought the nigga was a girl the first time I heard West Side Gun rock. Like, I literally thought he was a girl. I heard him on this joint Royce had called Governor's Ball. And I was like, yo, who's this? Oh, Conway? Oh, who's this girl? And it was West Side Gun. So I totally get how people don't like rock or West Side Gun or whatever like that. Edison, what you got up for your last joint, good brother?
I'm thinking Prince Poe verse on Organized Confusion Stress.
Ooh, Prince Poe.
That's the name.
Just
A friend of the podcast. I talked to Poe a couple of months ago, man. Real dope guy, man.
I haven't visited the song in a while, and then I mean, pain, stress, my brain can't even rest. It's hard to maintain the pressure on my chest. Excess frustration strikes. Blood rushes my head when I come across roads with dead mics. It almost surprises me that Poe didn't blow up like that, because his rhyme scheme is just as dope as Pharaoh.
I think Monch is just more animated.
That verse right there is like frozen in time, yo. It's perfect, you know?
Yeah. I think Monch is just more animated. Like what Jay saying, I'm not animated like, say, a Busta Rhymes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. There's some of those things that I love Poe. I just think some people have it. And it can't be taught. I can't teach a person how to have it. I can't teach. I can teach a person how to make better beats. I can teach a person how to be a better MC. I can't teach it. You just have it or you don't. And I just think Monch has it. Like, I can't see Prince Poe making a Simon Says, saying girls rub on your titties, and niggas not laugh at that shit. Like, yo, when Monch says it, I think women actually thought for a second, like, yo, I should rub on my titties right now. Like, I should. Like, why am I not rubbing my titties right now? I don't know if Prince Poe could have that same oomph to make that type of song. Like, just as lyrical, but I think Simon Says is one of those songs where it's lyrical, but, and this is no disrespect to Monch. I love Monch. He's in my top 10. I don't think he dumbed down. Here's the part. He possibly did dumb down Simon Says, but dumbing down for Pharoah Monch is not dumbing down like how somebody else would dumb down.
Right.
Like, if you get what I'm saying, like, you know, when you're listening to Simon Says, it's not like straight bullet. You know what I mean? But it's still dope. So it's not a negative dumb down, like I'm dumbing this down and these lyrics are like ABC Cat in the Hat rhymes. No. But I'm going to dumb this down so that women do think to rub on their titties. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Poe can do that. I don't know if Poe can dumb down the lyrical ability. And then again, at the end of the day, I just think Monch has it. You know, like Mos Def has it. He's another MC who just has it. I can't explain what it is, but when Mos comes on a track, you know Mos. You know what I mean? Like, he just has it. So I think that's the thing. But Poe is definitely an incredible MC. But I think Monch just has it.
It's the same as with leaders of the new school. Everyone knew Busta Rhymes was the guy, like, because he had it, and the other members were just there. Like, no disrespect to them at all. But listening to their albums, you was just like, this is the guy. And it turns out that's how it goes. But with Simon Says, the thing that's brilliant about that is it's good songwriting to me, because he didn't do the ABC and this, that. When you actually think about it, that song shouldn't have been as big as it was. Like, he's taken a Godzilla sample, then he's told you to rub on your titties, and the rhymes aren't basic. He's actually rapping in that song. When you put those ingredients together, you wouldn't think that would bang in the clubs, but it did. So it's just really good, smart songwriting.
But you know, to me, Slack, that's another piece of having it, because he was able to make a dope song that banged in the clubs. you know, and it wasn't let me follow the formula. Like we were talking today on the timeline about crossing over, and every one of my people's Easy Money was saying every street rapper wanted to cross over. No, I don't know if every street rapper wanted to cross over. In fact, I'm looking at Big right behind Easton. I'm like, it's duly noted that Big didn't want to do Juice. So it's not like every MC wanted to cross over. To me, it's about the intent. I don't think when Pharoah made that song, it was, oh, let me cross over. He just made a dope ass song. You know, I always say it with Annie Up. Like MOP had the perfect song, not the perfect song. They thought they had the perfect recipe when they did that song with Jay-Z over the Rocky sample. Because at the time, this makes this looks perfect on TV. This is like how you look at a basketball team's roster and you say that team can win a championship, and then they don't do shit. This looks perfect. We're rhyming over Rocky. We got Jay-Z on this track. This is our big hit. Song does absolutely nothing. Then you say, fuck it, I'm gonna make a song about robbing people, and motherfucker, the song is the biggest song in the goddamn world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's everywhere. It's on wrestling. It's on commercials. It's like, just make dope ass shit. You know what I mean? And I think it just takes people a while to understand that, like, there is no recipe for a hit. Because the recipe that worked for Nas may not work for you. The recipe that worked for Big may not work for you. Like, everybody, all five of us can have the same recipe for a sweet potato pie, and all five of us come out with 5 totally different sweet potato pies, even though we followed the recipe to the core. It's like, nigga, just make the best pie you can make, nigga. That's all you can really ask a person to do, you know? And I think, like you said, Slag, that's great songwriting, because again, telling women to rub on their fucking titties in 1997 was not, oh yeah, this is gonna get me on the radio, nigga. This is gonna get you off the radio, nigga. You're offending women. You're telling them to rub on their titties, not their breasts, nigga. You're saying titty. Like, on paper, this is not supposed to be a good song, and it's a smash, you know. So yeah, very dope, Edison, with Prince Poe. Nothing but love for Poe. Bro, what you got up to take us home, bro?
Ironically, I got somebody that we were just speaking about, not negatively, but you know, and there's Benny, and it's his verse, and particularly the way he came in on $100 Hiccup off of
oh my god,
Caesar joint, and you know, a criticism of him is like his flow. Well, he switched that shit up on this one, and he came in crazy.
That's a criticism of Benny? I've never heard that. People criticize his flow?
That it's the same all the time.
Oh,
like, and I've heard people say that, and but this, he came. He said, "I've been nice since Vogues and flat tops. Maurice Malone and crack rock. When will all this cap stop? I ain't even bring this gap to slap box. Rappers gonna fold like laptop. I represent for all the have-nots. Coaches don't jump with the mascots. I just pick and take the last shot. 200 grand on the coffee table. Covered it, then we lost the table. Got a strip, got some raw for sale. I could tell you how the bosses feel." Like, he just was going crazy on there, man. And like that song is hard. Like, and you know,
if people have not heard Amani's album, I think it's a very dope album. I couldn't, man. I understand, bro. I'm not. Like I said earlier, I am one of those people who totally can understand if you don't fuck with it. I fucked with the album already, probably because of my expectations. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Exactly. The production is dope.
Yeah, what I like about Shorty is that she has the sex appeal, but she still rhymes gutter. Like, she's like a female Conway. Like, you know what I mean? But I totally get it. If people don't fuck with it, like I said, that was my dark horse sleeper last year. I just listened on some old, let me just throw this on. But I really fuck with these Camouflage Monk beats and the niggas who did the beats and everything like that. But I totally get it, Slack. I totally get it. But yeah.
It feels manufactured. It feels like, let's take a bit of Foxy. Let's take a bit of Nicki. Let's take a bit of Kim and then put her over some grimy shit. It just feels too obvious to me.
Nah, I feel you.
Yeah, man, I can't do it, man. I try it.
I feel you. And again, I don't know, niggas. Of course, I always tell people all the time, it's this new word that got invented last night called a lie. So Shorty could be lying, you know what I mean? Like, after listening to the joint, like, I did like a deep dive on YouTube of just all her shit, and you know, according to her, she writes her own shit, and you know, this is just her influences and all that. So again, I totally get it. Like, I don't know, she could be lying. And again, for me, a lot of times for me, it's about what we were just talking about, crossing over. Like, did you do this or did the label make you do this?
Right.
Like, great example, Royalty came out with Gangstar with KC and JoJo. And I was like, fuck this shit. Motherfuckers up here singing with goddamn Jodeci. Kind of shit is this? You know what I mean? The shit don't even go with the hook. Like, the hook don't even make the song good. I don't know what the fuck they saying. Whatever you want. I don't even know. Can anybody sing the goddamn hook to Royalty? No. They just fucking, I don't know. But the thing is during the time I was doing radio, and Gangstar took us out to Dave and Buster's, and I was talking to Google, and I was like, bro, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Why you do this shit with Jodeci? And he was like, yo, we fucking love them niggas. Them niggas get high, them niggas got guns, we fuck with them. And I was like, never thought about that it could just be, like, he was like, the label didn't make us do that. We wanted to fuck with them. And that changed my whole perception of the song. So it's like you said, it's like, if this was manufactured, like Wes was like, yo, we need you to be Foxy, Kim, and Nicki, and everybody, and boom, then that's whack. If this is just who she is, then I'm good with that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how it was with me and Royalty. After Guru said that, I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, because it's not manufactured. It's actually, we wanted to fuck with them. You know what I mean? Because there was a time, and we got to do a show on this. And I want to bring y'all, try to find a time when we can bring this back about crossing over. Because today was all the stuff on the timeline about crossing over. And I think we all have a different definition of that word. Like, for instance, me being a producer, crossing over to me in the 90s was rhyming over a popular beat.
Right.
So one person said, Meph's All I Need with Mary was the crossover song. I said I disagreed. I thought it was just a banging ass song.
That's not
now,
a crossover song.
If they would have done All I Need over Find a Raise, Get Over Like a Fat Rat, I would have been like, crossover. Because for me, it started with the beat. It was, even the Puffy remix was a dope beat. It was original. They wasn't just rhyming over Diana Ross. So I was like, this is cool. Now, when I heard Nas If I Ruled the World, him rhyming over Friends, crossover, see somebody else was like, oh, there ain't no crossover. I don't mind them. So we all have a different definition. And then some people were like, well, if it has an R&B singer, crossover. So I knew some people who didn't mind the Friends, but then when they heard Lauryn Hill, they was like, oh, that's the crossover part. So it's like we all have different definitions of what the crossover is. You know what I mean? But I agree with you wholeheartedly that if they did just manufacture it, and to be honest with you, that's what it looks like. That's why I kind of did this deep dive.
It feels like it to me, man.
Right. And it very well could be. Shorty could be lying, you know, but yeah, Grell, dope verse with Benny, Slack, Easton. Tell us all about My Type of Hype podcast. What are y'all talking about? Where is it at? Where can they catch it? What's going on with y'all?
Go on, bro. I'll let you go.
All right, man. Well, first of all, let me give a major shout out to the brother Kill for getting our new intro put together, man.
Yes.
My pleasure.
So we spent a long time kind of going back and forth about it, but Kill came through and did it. Record quick time. So big appreciation for that. So our podcast is called, our new podcast is called My Type of Hype Pod, and we're going to be back real soon. Recording weekly episodes, so no longer Man Notes Hip Hop. We are now My Type of Hype Pod, so we're going to be back doing our weekly spots, man. So yeah, that'll be us. So you can catch me on Twitter at Slack on both sides. That's SLAK on both sides, because there's not enough characters to fit the C on Twitter. So yeah, find me there, and we'll be back real soon. All
right, and Easton.
Yeah, man, definitely. Just to echo that, man, nothing but love. Shout out to Kill for that, man. Put that together in no time. So we got a lot of setbacks, but yeah, we're back, man. So apologies for the delay. We was meant to have like a 4-week break just to get some stuff behind the scenes sorted. It turned into months, man. But just know that we're eager to be on it and be back with you weekly. So we are. So look out for us within the next couple of weeks. We're going to be back with our episodes, doing our thing. So much love to Kill, and also everyone else who supported and just, you know, been asking and everything like that, man. So yeah, like Slack said, it'll be on Twitter, My Type of Hype. Also on Instagram, My Type of Hype. And I'm on Twitter as well, Eastern Major. So yeah, check us out, man. Follow us, and yeah, man, ride with us, man. Much love.
I'll say this about Slack. Slack looks like this cool, relaxed dude. This nigga's the funniest nigga I fucking know. Like, this nigga's tweets will have you fucking rolling. So if you need laughter in your day, please follow this nigga. If not for nothing, but the nigga will keep you laughing. Let me say this for y'all, man. I love y'all podcast. I love you, brothers. it was a pleasure and a blessing to be able to do the intro for you guys, because the thing that people don't realize out here is that, you know, people are actually like, yo, man, there's all these hip hop podcasts. Like, you fuck with a lot of people. And I'm like, yo, if you keeping the culture moving forward, that's all I give a fuck about. Like, that's it. You know, like, if you like Apartment 5B, that's cool. If not, go to my type of hype. I don't mind that, because as long as who's ever doing something is keeping the culture moving, because that's all my goal. My goal is not for subscribers. My goal is just to keep the culture moving. So, Same. You know, even when Slack said, Kill, what can we do? I'm like, just keep the culture. Just keep doing what y'all doing. Like, that's the only payment I need, is just continue to just keep the culture moving, because I know these two brothers are going to build on the same foundation that Apartment 5B is. And that's just keeping the correct hip hop. We ain't doing no revisionist shit going on over here. Keeping the culture going. And if you're doing that, then I want to invest in you. And I tell people this all the time. When people hear investment, they think money. And investment doesn't have to be money all the time. Investment can be your time. Investment can be a trade. Investment can be a phone call to somebody you know. We have to do a better job of investing in other people who are doing dope shit. You know, and getting out of, because I've seen it's happen to me when people get in their feelings with my shit, like, well, I can't really support you because we doing the same thing. Nigga, if you fuck with me, why wouldn't you want to support me? Like, we got to get away from, oh, you're doing the same shit I'm doing, so I can't help you. Like, no, nigga, like, but again, that's just the way I'm built. Again, I say it all the time. Everybody's been raised different. I was raised to help people. That's what we're going to do. So, like I said, more important, it was a blessing. I appreciate you guys giving T, my wife, who's trying to get into voiceover stuff, giving her an opportunity to do the voice over for you guys.
Shout out to T for that as well, man. Big respect to T for that.
I appreciate that. But everybody watching, if you fuck with Apartment 5B, trust and believe you will fuck with these two right here. You know what I mean? So definitely tap into my type of hype. Edison, where can they get at you on Twitter, good brother?
At VXMANGU and on Twitter, and that's the only social media that I do anyway. Congratulations to you, brothers, Eastern and Slack. I used to watch your old podcast, and I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Respect.
Nice meeting you.
No doubt. And just another shout out to Edison, man. This is one of the people who, when we talk about support, is what we need more of. Like, dead ass. This man came to pick me up in Orlando, banging me and Vern's out. Like, and I can't tell you how many times he's tweeted about it and, you know, all that stuff. So again, people watching, again, it's just, even if you don't have the money to buy the album, the great thing I love about social media, because it's a gift and a curse, but the thing I love about social media is if you don't have the money to buy the album, you can retweet. To be honest with you, I'll take a retweet sometimes over fucking $10. Like, you know what I mean? So if you can buy the album, that's great. But there's still so many other ways that you can, you know, support people. And we're gonna do another spaces with Porsche that I want to try to get a time when everybody can get on it, because support looks different for different people. So I always want to bring in different podcast people, different artists, different painters, different people to kind of talk about what support looks like for them, because a retweet is great. You know, I mean, it's still to this day, I don't get it. I'll get 150 likes and then get 5 retweets. Well, if you liked it, why wouldn't you retweet it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand the science behind that, you know, but neither here nor there. But Edison, I just want to salute you for always supporting 5B and always supporting. And even when we were out at dinner and I was like, yo, we got to get you on a Sunday when I get Eastern Slack on. He's like, Eastern Slack? Oh, I watch them too. So again, it's just that type of support is so important for podcasts like this, because we don't have the Joe Budden money. We don't have the Spotify. We don't have any machine behind us. So it's people like you who keep us moving. So just want to salute you for that, Edison. Rel, let them know about the new single, good brother.
Yeah, so I just dropped a new single called Fear. It's produced by Kill. You know, like we were talking grown man rap, it's grown man topics, police brutality, our own self-destruction, things we do to harm people that look like us, and just stuff that was on my mind that's going on in the world. Kill provided the backdrop for it, and you know, it's a good listen, man. I advise people to, you know, give it a listen, man. It's coming off my album that's coming out called Caught in a Moment. Kill produced probably like 60% of that. But just check it out. It's at Jarrell, Jarell 215.bandcamp.com, and it's on your streaming platforms as well. Just give it a listen, man. I won't guide you in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? I won't ask you to listen to nothing whack. You know what I'm saying? And Edison, you a real dude. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, the love always,
Peace,
man.
brother.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. And anybody that listened to it, retweeted it, anything, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because, we put our like hearts and the soul and the certain things we put out, and for people to give it a chance and listen to it, and like that's for me. Like we'll get into that in the spaces, but the support, the retweets, and just the listens is what do it for me. You know what I'm saying? And the shout out. So I appreciate all that. But check it out. It's called Fear. It's coming up off my album called Caught the Moment. So check it out. And you can get at me on Twitter, jben215, and on Instagram, UptownRail215.
All right. And you already know this with me, Kill 889, Twitter, IG, all that good stuff. I will check y'all next month, good peoples.